Kiss, babe.
Love you.
Love you. And my dog's in there.
Where?
He's in the bag. You think he'll be all right? Zuko is sick. He's asleep in the bag. Zuko is asleep. Zuko is sick. He's asleep in the bag. You got a lighter, right? Oh, we got water bottles. And in here. The painting really looks awesome.
Heather. What is going on?
There are so many things going on. I feel like I cannot communicate with you.
Okay.
I feel like I have screamed for attention. Like I have literally said, I need time, I need attention, I need to speak, I need to be heard, I need...
The last couple of days, I've felt that, and I apologize. Before that, I didn't get that sense, but okay.
I feel like, don't get me wrong, because I have mad respect for you and I like you as a person. I feel like it's just you as the type of person, like the way your mind works and how you're 90 to nothing, the way you process things, the way you go. And then me and the way I work and the way I think and the way I process things, the way I think they don't commingle or jive or however you want to put it. Because I feel like you don't realize that I am failing miserably. I'm foundering.
I know.
But at the same time, I can't get you to listen to me, and I can't get points across to you, and I feel like I can't get information from you when I need it. I feel like, so here's what happened though. Everything I've been trying to work with and been trying to maintain and still had hope and believed in the future and everything until they said that I made the decision to fire people. They know I didn't. They told me what the situation was and what the options were, and that 3 people were already gone.
Okay.
But hold on.
Okay.
And to find out that it's being said that it was my decision to do this, we don't have paperwork yet. There's things that I've been asking for from the very beginning of this business that I feel like, I think you'd probably get it for me now, but only because we're in the situation.
Well, Heather, you and I talked the other day, just so I could reassure you that and tell you that we should get that done, and that we needed to give some percentages to the employees as well.
I do know your intentions.
Well, so here's the thing, Heather. I get completely that you're floundering. I do. You think that I don't understand that, but it's to the contrary. What you wanted to see.
You don't know what I'm capable of doing. You don't even know still what all I do.
I do know what Heather.
I do more than what I've even done
Heather,
since I've been here.
I understand, and you can do more. But in floundering, it's trying to do too much and be too many things to too many people. And I'm sorry that they articulated those things that way. I didn't even know that was happening. My understanding was, just so you know, because y'all are mad at me.
I'm not mad.
No, I understand. But you said you made the decision, or what the final straw was, is that they came in and let people go, saying that it was a decision of yours, and you're mad. You're upset with.
That wasn't what made the final straw, but that was a big.
I understand,
that was a
but
big,
you're
that was
attributing
a final issue for me of us.
But please understand this: you're attributing something that somebody else did.
I'm not accusing you of it.
To me,
I'm not.
Well, no, but I'm being held accountable for it. So let me make something clear. When the decision was made Friday. That nobody was going to be let go. I can show you the text messages. I was like, fantastic. Really think that's a great idea. Never really liked this idea. What I was trying to do in the last month, it was try to give you everything that you've asked me for. You said, I want to have access to everything. I want to get all the systems in place. I want to figure out all of these things financially. And
I haven't had a look at time to be able to try to do
I know, but they've been trying to go through that.
They've been amazing.
Y'all been meeting, so you can have.
Been amazing.
So you can have all of that information, and here's what I think has happened, if I can surmise something.
Okay.
It's overwhelming. on top of everything that else you have, having a true grasp of where things are was shockingly terrifying, one, and the fact that you are who you are, the idea of letting anybody go is not something that is ever going to be something that Heather wants to do, because that's just Heather.
Right, that's true.
Right? So...
Well, but I wouldn't make that decision over the sake of the company. I mean, I could make big bad decisions.
Well, okay.
But I'm not making this one. I'm not in the position
No, I
to make this
understand that, and I don't know how... Angela and Mary Jo got a little overzealous and very non-happy with regards to that situation, because I had already decided that Cassidy wasn't even going to go anywhere, that even if we did anything, that Cassidy would just go to logging the stuff for one of these other things, and I put some money over somewhere else, and she'd stay doing something until we could bring her back. I'd already made that daggum decision. So, like, when that stuff was
I
texted...
don't even think Cassie's a good employee.
Well, now I hear that. Now I hear that. I don't.
Right.
Right. Now I hear that. I don't.
But I
wouldn't.
wouldn't. I still
know.
didn't want anything to happen to her before Christmas and all that.
I mean,
not meaning
neither.
that.
Me
Yeah.
neither. But so what I did, as I think you'll agree, is I turned this all over and said, y'all tell me what you want to do, and I thought this was all what y'all thought was best, and they were explaining to me.
I've been telling them every day I've met with them. For one, I don't think the numbers are right. I don't think the information I'm being
They
given
swear
is
the numbers
correct.
are right. I don't know.
Okay, but even when I do the math, it's not. When I pull up the same information, it's not. So something's missing somewhere. But what I don't understand is the amount of money that's come in and left. It should not have gone the way it did. There should still be money there for the people to have payroll to get through at least the holidays, to readdress the situation.
Here's the thing. We can
I would
get
want to
through, just so you know,
restructure
we
the
can
programs.
we can get through the holidays. Essentially, what I hoped would come out of this more than anything, not this, oh my God, was you having a better understanding of how we need to price packages and how we need to sell packages. And
If I was running this business, we would not be in this position. If I was running the business, we would not be in this position right now. I went over my math over and over again. I even went over the bank account, went over Wix, went over everything. At the time when I did the math, and I had 7 people's payrolls to discuss based off of what Grant had already told everybody, that I needed to make it stop because we were hemorrhaging money at that point.
Yeah, so here's the problem. Grant's numbers were woefully inaccurate.
But the numbers I used, I got from the system, and I got
they
from...
dropped, and a lot of them were one-time
they've
charges.
Even flipped, no, not the numbers I used. I can show you every bit of my math. But
maybe, is there a second Wix account still? I don't know.
I don't know if
I
there is
don't
or
know.
not. But the thing about the numbers, what happened was they flipped. So what went from monthly accounts at the time turned into one-time accounts, because at that, what I had done with payroll at the time, which I didn't even have the bank account yet, so I'm dealing with money I can't see. But I'm trying to stop the hemorrhaging, because I can see what's going out. Like, I can see that. I'm signing those checks. So, I just lost my point. I just totally went blank on what I was saying. But all of my math is actually there correct. I have COO all accounted for. I have immediate needs all accounted for. I have random OMMAs all accounted for, not just a regular renewal, but a random, like a transfer, and not normal. Mm-hmm. And OMMA renewals, those aren't even counted, except for only if they're in the membership. I very, 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 and I'm glad I still had the math. I had all the notes down from when I sat down with every one of the employees too, and how I went over things with them.
They said you did.
And how I explained that this is the only money that we can use and say that Tricome's bringing in, because this is the only thing that's sustainable. Like, this is reoccurring.
So when y'all were going through that stuff, were you able to figure out where
the
you got that number?
That's what it was. The account switched from, I got the number from what was in the system, and it's correct. It's even reproducible. But since then, the COO situation happened, where people's priorities switched from them being concerned about their compliancy to them being concerned with their very expensive package deal that they're trying to work out. There was a lot of dropping of accounts. There was switching from account to account. And lots of people who used discount codes were giving discount codes to other people. There's a lot of different things that happen.
So how do we go from these concerns
structuring the business correctly and having this program that shows checks and balances along every week. But I've tried so hard to talk to you about this because this stems to the program that I've been telling you about. Because you keep telling me to rewrite the packages, break down the packages. You want to rewrite the packages. No,
just that
I'm
one.
the one that said there's only one that you need to focus on.
The 420
Yes,
one.
but there's a whole
I agree
reason.
with you.
But there's so much more to the whole thing that I have not been able to express to you. You want me to type it up. I've actually done it and sent it to you, not in the whole.
Mary Jo told me today that you had, and I'm like, okay, you got Heather.
I know,
as
I do
you
the same thing. My stuff gets lost. I
buried
know.
in the freaking emails.
I know.
Okay?
But you got to understand, you don't. I don't realize for you either. I'm not gonna. Don't assume I think I do. You don't realize what all I'm dealing with. Like
No,
Mary,
I don't.
Mary
I couldn't
Jo
possibly.
and Angela didn't realize we've had 12 metric accounts for months, for 4 months or more. We've only had Mo for 6 weeks. I've been doing all those metric accounts. I've been the only one working on those metric accounts and doing it at night. So like this all needs to be fine-tuned and turned into a very smooth running process. Every process has a reaction, every reaction has an action, every response has a reply, all the way down to finally done. All of that stuff, and I cannot focus on any one single thing, but it's not even just about me. This whole team built this.
I agree.
And it drives me nuts. Too many things. Okay, Ron, look at it from look at it from me. Look at me from being me.
Okay.
Don't look at it as Ron Durbin. Look at be Heather. And I know you hate hearing this. I've been doing this program for years. I've been working it smaller scale, totally smaller scale. But I understand business. I understand what was meant to be done with this. I understand where it needed to be streamlined. I understand what needed to be worked on and tweaked on. I have had my focus turned on average every 2 weeks since I started here. I am no longer taking care of clients the way I did. My work ethics have failed miserably. I don't like who I am right now. I have gotten so many complaints that I usually don't get bothered at all. I'm bothered. And I understand that. I've been killing myself for this business. When this happened, the last 2 weeks happened, it floored me because you've been telling me that you could bill. You could bill.
Mm-hmm.
If we got low on money, you could bill. Like, I'm like, Ron, I know it's your money and you get to pay yourself back, but we can't spend too much too fast. Different things. You make a comment. I got billing. I can always put it back. For me to be called in and be told 3 people are already let go and they want 5 more.
Makes sense now. Well, hang on. It makes sense now.
Those numbers don't make sense.
And I agree. And here's the thing. It makes sense now why. It makes sense now why you're as frustrated as you are, and frankly, it's all a lack of communication. And here's what
on my part, I've been trying to communicate.
But here's the thing, though.
I'm annoying you.
But I've also been running around trying to deal with all these clients that have been getting thrown in jail.
Oh,
And
no,
stuff,
I
right?
know.
So,
I
so
don't.
I'm out there doing the things that bring us the attention that does this stuff.
It's really negative attention right now, by the way.
On
We have-
Pandal,
We have a lot of negative attention right now.
in what way?
There's all kinds of questions about Trichome. There's all kinds of questions about you. A lot of clients are upset because they feel like they got the bait and switch, that they came to Trichome to get services with Durbin at the firm on Greenwood and has been switched over to Alex.
And I decided...
And Alex, it's obvious that Alex raised his prices.
So here's the thing. Again, we haven't had a chance to have a conversation about this because I agree. And I figured out how to streamline the handling of the stuff with the OMMA. And unfortunately, I thought Jonathan would be a good solution. I was wrong. I thought, look,
I understand your opinion on Jonathan, but I also understand some of Jonathan's. And the way you handle people sometimes is not the right way, in my opinion.
Sure.
But I don't think I get to say those things to you. And Jonathan, I brought him to you. Just like I brought Darren Atkinson to you. And Mike at Delta 9, who's being sued again now. I brought him to you. These were people that I knew previous to Trichome.
Mike at Delta, which one is that?
He's the one that you were supposed to reply to the letter that came from his attorney way back when that you didn't reply to, so they went ahead and filed a lawsuit against him. Then you were going to...
Did they retain us?
Yes. They've retained you. And
I'm not fucking perfect.
I don't think you are. I think we all make mistakes.
So here's the thing.
I don't expect you to be.
I know, but here's the thing. You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater and not giving an opportunity. we've not had a frank conversation. So it goes from a conversation the other day where we're fine to I'm packing up and
Our
I'm leaving.
conversations haven't been fine in a very long time. Because I stopped trying.
Well, you didn't convey that to me, so I had no idea.
I did when I told you I need you to listen to me. I need time to speak with you.
Well, I am sorry that I didn't give you that time. I'm sorry.
You actually told me no business, which I respected and went along with, but then never mentioned my need again. Like, it just, oh, okay, didn't matter. That's how I feel.
As you have been balancing people,
I understand that.
I have been trying to, and I apologize for not prioritizing that. I had no idea it was this serious of an issue, because I want you to know that you and the team are the most valuable. Without you guys, I'm nothing.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you believe that.
At the end of the day, what we're building here.
I didn't.
And I know that you want to quit.
I did.
And at the end of the day, you're a human being.
I knew Cameron would quit with me, but I didn't know anybody else would be.
And people can do what they want to do, whatever. But one, I don't think you want to quit. I think you are in a situation which I inadvertently put you in on purpose.
I'm actually scared. Like, I'm
and so here's the thing. I inadvertently put you in a situation that terrified you. Mm-hmm. Did I intend for you to understand the full dynamics of the way the business is operating and to understand that the cash flow is negative and that essentially we are running, because as you build any business, mm-hmm. you run on a negative cash flow. Mm-hmm. And we are running on a negative cash burn. Mm-hmm. And our job is to burn as little of that as humanly possible. That's why every time we did an event, it's like, okay, my God, we're going to go do a hockey thing.
Our events were outrageous money. I mean,
but here's the thing, though. What did we, just like the pint nights, what did we sell those nights and how many accounts did we close?
Certain ones were profitable, certain ones weren't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all lesson learned, too.
The festival thing, absolute complete waste of money.
Well, we didn't handle that one right.
No, it was handled.
We should have spent time with the vendors when we could have time with vendors.
And that's not a vendor event to have been spending time with. That's one you say, here's your employee hangout weekend, and that's the employee fun time. Yeah. That's not when you're trying to sell stuff. Yeah. We're gonna make mistakes.
No, I agree. I know that. I believe in giving people a million chances too. That's me and my nature.
But you've not given me.
You don't realize, but I have.
But
I know you don't.
Is it a chance if you don't have? Look, Heather.
How many times have I said to you, Ron, you still don't even really know what all we do, or you don't know what all I do, or you don't you? How many times have I said things like that? That's me saying. That's me saying that I don't understand why I'm not being given the opportunity to. Here's the thing. I don't think you disrespect me or anything like that, or like don't respect me. I do feel like it. I do think that you think I'm below you. I do think that you question my knowledge, but you've never, fully known my knowledge. Or, you don't know if I've got a college degree. You don't know much. You don't know that much about my history.
I trust you.
I'm glad that you do trust me. I am glad that you do trust me. I hope that I've never given you a reason not to because of who I am.
You've given me, a couple of reasons, or at least one reason not to trust you.
Oh, but yeah, I'm saying is but I own it.
Heather, with your knowledge, the reason why I've not delved into, I don't micromanage. It's not just,
it's just knowing somebody and knowing what their worth is, so that when they want to talk about something you're doing together, you might listen to what they're saying and why they're saying it. You dismiss most of everything I say. When I'm trying to explain a reason why something should be a certain way or should go a certain way, or this is an option for something, I hardly ever even get through a concept before it's dismissed.
Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's certainly something that can be fixed.
I feel like I've asked for it to be fixed, and I feel like you might not realize it. I feel like I have very much analyzed, tried to figure out how to work with it, tried to figure out how to for lack of a better word, but manipulate our relationship so I do feel like I'm getting my 2 cents in, or
what is it that you need?
To be heard is one, but two, I'm not confident in which I know you don't even realize it. I tried to talk to you about a offer for us to run the business, and you just get a allowance and just not have anything to do with the business. And it was like, I don't even think I got that full sentence out too before it was
Okay.
I asked you to meet with me because I had a proposition.
So
For you,
again,
and-
you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater without having had a chance. I'm sorry that I didn't give you the opportunity to say that, because that certainly is something that I don't particularly enjoy running this.
I know you don't. I'm not good at it either. You're not. And Ron, I'm the kind of person that likes people's differences.
Right.
My mother and my sister have always said they don't understand me at all because like nothing is like not okay with me. Like,
Sure.
I mean, I like people who are different and I don't feel weird, I don't feel odd, different things like that. And I can like people for different reasons. And I can like people that I can even know things about them are bad for me, but I can keep them in a certain spot of my life. Like I can, compartmentalize.
Great. So you want to run this and have this done.
But what it's not quite that simple. Everything that I've been told that I can take off and take care of and do or whatever, it doesn't end up happening that way.
Okay.
And you've made choices that have rubbed so many people wrong ways. We are losing clients.
Like what choices?
There's stuff. Well, the burning of Michael Delta 9 wants to cancel his account, wants to remove all of his stuff, which we still had more work that we were doing for him that was
because of
billable.
what?
Because he's getting sued by his ex-partner.
Okay, I will do some free legal work for him, and I'll make it up to him.
He did pay. You couldn't.
No, I understand, but
you're saying
he's
you
getting sued.
do him a solid.
I'll do him a solid. I'll get in there. I'll fight real hard for him.
Then,
I'll make it up to him. That's not okay. I
Darren
fucked up.
Atkinson and all of them. Those were people I already have an
I did them
investment
a
with them.
great job.
Well, hold on. I need you to listen for a second, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Darren Atkinson and them are people that I'm already invested with in an investment that has nothing to do with you and previous
I
to
didn't
me
know
ever
about that
knowing.
till yeah.
Well, you were telling me before I can't have an investment. If we do an investment, it's you and I together and all that. And I'm like, I told you when I brought him to you that he needed help. I brought him to, he was so scared to come to you, he wouldn't come to your office. I took him to one of our hearings that I went up to you and introduced you to him.
What's interesting about Darren, just so you know, is in that first meeting, Heather, he badmouthed the ever living hell out of you because he was pissed off at you not getting taken care of.
That was what's his name? That
no,
was Michael.
Darren. No, it was Darren as well. I promise you. I was sitting in this room talking to him.
Darren was more than
No,
amply
ma'am.
taken care
no,
of.
No, ma'am. But I promise you, Heather. Because we
doesn't-
walked out of here and he was like, are you going to tell Heather I said anything? Are you going to tell Heather I said anything? Darren has a propensity for just not being happy with people sometimes.
Yeah,
okay?
I can understand.
So here's the thing. If Darren and them are not happy about something,
I don't even really care what the actual facts are, how bad it was or anything. Like I'm not necessarily believing one or the other. Like you said that you've helped them and they said that you didn't. I'm not saying either way hiding her hair. I'm saying what happened during that timeline of him trying to get to you and me trying to get him to you and me trying to get you to help him or answer him, it was teaching me. It was educating me. I couldn't get you to focus on even me telling you, these are my people. Like this particular thing doesn't affect my money. This thing that they need help with didn't affect my investment with them, but the fact of who they are does affect my investment with them. But you probably don't even remember me telling you that because that's how little you listen to me. So my point is,
well, there's a lot going on. It's not just that. There's a lot of information, and so no, I didn't catch that.
But just know I don't analyze every little thing. I even let a lot of things just kind of slide. But things are taught to me. So
But
give me
analyzing
Let me just paraphrase this whole one scenario for you.
Go ahead.
So then, even after that whole debacle, they decide that I've been made an offer to enter the gummy situation with that investment. Which I've already got investments with them, so it wouldn't be above me, beside me, below me, or anything to continue to do investments with them. But when they said, I could make the offer to you, I asked, how do you feel about Ron? Would you want him to be?
I remember you brought it up.
You remember the comment that you made?
No, I remember you bringing it
But
up.
I don't know you very well, and that if you want something from Darren, you'll bend him over and take it. That's the comment that you made.
Was I drunk?
I don't know.
Well, I stopped drinking.
I don't know
I
you well enough to know what you're like when you're drunk or not
I
drunk.
remember the conversation about
And
Darren and an
into
investment in
gummy
gummies, and I seem to remember that we were going to have a follow-up conversation
we was going
about
to go
it.
with packaging.
But we were going to figure out a way to do it in a way that we didn't own
marijuana
the business.
We would do packaging.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it never came back up again.
You never followed through. You never gave him a call.
Well,
And he even said, I'm not calling you. You have to call me.
Heather, if I knew that, I didn't remember that. And with the billion to...
But you gotta...
Please don't judge me
I'm
on
not,
dropping that, because
I'm
you
not,
know that it wasn't
hold
intentional.
on. I've seen it all. I understand you're going through a lot. I understand a lot more than you think I do. And I accept and blow off a lot more than you think I do. I'm not as judgmental as this sounds, but you want to know where my feelings come from, so I'm trying to give you certain examples.
I got you.
There is more, and it's not that I judge you. I like you. I would be your friend outside of work. I don't think that's the only relationship we have. I care about you. I want you to succeed. I think your wife's beautiful. I think she's sweet. I think we are good together. Like, we get our jokes and stuff. Like, I enjoy being around her. Like, there's nothing... What I don't like...
Why is it worth throwing all of this
Because
away?
I don't think I can be partners with you. I don't think I can be in business with you, because it's killing me. The differences that we have, the lack of communication, the inability to communicate, the different way of seeing things, I have mad respect for you. I think you're amazing in the courtroom.
Is it not something...
I don't want to be let down more to find out that I tried to make it work and that you still didn't put any effort into it. I hate the way that sounds, but I don't know another way to word it.
But give me a chance to fail, please, knowing what it is that you need, understanding in a way that you've had an opportunity for me to listen, and not just what was it? White man can't jump. You can't hear Jimmy. You know what I'm talking about? I always like basketball or movie quotes.
Right.
I hear you. I'm listening. I get that.
But I don't feel judged, like I just sit here and nitpick all the bad things about you. I'm trying to give you compliments as well, knowing that I do respect you. I think you're amazing in the courtroom. It's like better than watching Law and Order.
I like constructive criticism, Harry.
I do too. I don't have a problem with it either. I'm not as defensive as people think I am.
I grew up doing debate, and I firmly believe that one can always be better and improve.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing you could ever suggest to me that you will not see me work on.
Which is why the decision, which I think is made rashly, to do this when we haven't had an opportunity for you to sit down and have this conversation.
What was this? Wait, okay. I don't know what could be done that would make me feel better. This is because Mary Jo asked me to take some time to think about it, and I told her I would. And just said, well, I talked to Ron. I told her I would.
Sure.
I can't make my husband not do what I brought him here to do. I'm not about to piss him off. Which Cameron already had made a scene, so I'm not going to. We can walk out of there and say you've changed your mind. Your husband will get over it. I know Chad well enough to know the man. Hold on a second. Don't put pressure on me. I'm going to ask very respectfully for that right now. I'm very fragile right now. I'm not well. I don't feel good. This has been a lot on me.
I understand.
I don't like how it was done, and I don't like how you disappeared, because that's what you did.
Heather.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because I'm not emotional about it, and that's pissing me off that I'm even feeling emotional right now, because that's when I don't have control of my own emotions, and that pisses me off. So, I don't know what... I told Mary Jo I would literally think, what... She said, tell me what it is. What could it be? What would it be to make me change my mind? Because apparently I had said, I'm done, I quit, I'm out, but she thought that meant on being the person in charge of the finances or something, because she kept talking to me like, okay, well then who else would be good at doing this, and what am I supposed to do? Finally she said something like, well, that's fine, we're not going to fire anybody, but there's no money for payroll. And I said, yes there is, you have my paycheck. And she's like, what? I'm like, I've told you 3 times I quit. So it was shocking to her, and she asked me what would make me change my mind, or give it a chance, or to feel like it's worth a try.
Mm-hmm.
Here, the thing is I don't know what you could do. I don't know what you would do. I don't want to be let down by thinking that you're going to try and that you fail me again, because it's like people let me down so bad all the time. I learned not to let them.
But you're letting
because my
us
dad-
down. You're
hold
doing
on.
exactly what you don't want me to do to you. You're letting me down in what we committed to doing here.
I understand that.
I mean, that's what you're doing.
I'm not letting you down and making a decision that doesn't make you happy. I get that.
No, Heather, you're letting me down because, and I finally got, and you say no pain, and I finally got something from you in a twinge of emotion there that said something, and it was, you felt alone. I think if I can, want to explain to you how that came about. And the feeling that you felt alone, I'm terribly sorry that you felt alone, but what I wanted you to have was unfettered access to whatever you wanted.
Oh, I think your wants were there.
Hang on, because it goes further than that. As y'all were having those conversations, I checked in all the time because
With them,
yes,
not with me.
No.
And I even reached out to you and you blew me off every time.
No, the last 2 nights, I'm sorry, literally I was, and then I did call you like last night and the night before, I think.
You called Wednesday night and you told me that you're at 12:30 at night. You told me that you're not mad at me, and I didn't understand what the hell that meant because this is not my fault.
Well, hey, let's finish one thing.
Let's talk about being confused. I mean, like,
okay,
I'm like,
let's
what?
finish. Right, I am too. Because let's finish one thing at a time.
Okay.
So, I wanted you to have unfettered access to where you could just go through it and spend as much time as you needed. And frankly, I didn't need to sit there while you did that.
But you also learned with them getting it, I didn't even have that either. Because I know as much as I did have, I still didn't. I still to this day don't.
Heather, I didn't have the numbers either.
I know.
figured it out.
I know.
I figured it out. If you didn't understand when I did all this, I figured it out in my head by looking at a few things, and I said, "Oh God, these numbers don't matter." It clicked for me pretty quick, right? And then when that's why I had them going through it, and putting it together, and working with you to go through that, and y'all to come up with solutions for what we could do on that. And I wanted you to feel like you were running the company and making the decisions with regards to that. And if there was no more money to come in, then the decision has to be made. The money's going to dwindle, and it's going to run out. And I heard, something today about it's because I bought a Vespa. I promise you, it's not because of the $5,000 Vespa. I don't even pay myself a salary
I
from
know,
Trico.
and I do think you deserve to pay yourself back.
Well,
but the amount of money that's been used, it's gone out of the account, to me is not normal what a person would do when they start a business.
If the business is on, everybody's saying everything's great, grant.
But when I would say something, you'd say, I have $300,000 in the trust amount that I can build. So I always thought, okay, well, if we got into a
and here's
pickle,
the thing.
he'd put a money back. He'd reinvest back into his company.
And this is where the confusion came in. I wanted a decision made with regards to the financial viability of the company.
Right.
All
Which
right. With regards to Joe,
increased our pay by $11,000 a month. Our pay that's being paid in 1 week.
Yes, you did it. No, I
But that was
understand.
my solution, that I came back, but they're saying that people have to. And then I give 85 names.
For the love of God. See, that's the whole thing.
I felt like they didn't listen to me either.
No, they didn't listen to me either. It's fucking caused all of this shit, and it's fucking infuriating me.
It's not what has caused all of it.
It has.
It's not
It's
what has
what's
caused all of
caused.
it.
It's what's caused. Fine, but it's what's caused a bulk of the fucking misunderstanding.
It brought it to head.
And well, the misunderstanding. Because here's the thing. You're going to come to a decision. Joe, I don't have anything for him to do.
We've been discussing Joe's position for
Right,
months.
and also the daggum lobbyist just quoted that they can do it for $3,000 a month. I'm like, $3,000. Oh, sorry, $4,000 in session. That's 4 months of the year, and then they'll charge $3,000 out of session for lobbying. That's less than we pay Joe. So I can have 2 lobbyists from a company for less than Joe. Joe was an obvious whatever.
Right.
Cassidy, as I explained to Mary Jo and to Angela, was if for some reason the decision was made to let her go, I was gonna put her doing something for buying time, doing all my inventory and stuff in case we needed her back over here. And then with regards to Sam, it'd have been we lost Sam.
I didn't even know Sam was on Tricon.
I didn't either. But the point of the matter is, we're talking about one daggone person. And I'm sorry.
When I walked into the room.
I know, I don't know.
They said today that they did not ever say Cameron or Nikki. They did. They said all the support staff, and even talked about Morgan.
They were over.
Hey, listen though, I understand this, and I spent a week with them. We had a lot of good conversations and very transparent, direct. Get information, give information. You know, I informed them the best I possibly could on anything and everything. And I think what they're doing is great. All this information needs to be gathered. All of it needs to be gone through. The fact that it hasn't is beyond me. It makes me terrified.
Right.
Like why would I want to join a company that has in this much of a situation? Like, you've allowed people to do things they shouldn't have. You know this. I'm not going to go down that path again. But, and is it fixable? Yes, of course it is. I'm not saying that. The communication of me trying to talk about the company, the numbers, my not understanding what they're going off of, showing what I have, pulling up different information, getting information from other people in the company. It didn't matter what I said. It didn't matter. Like, I didn't feel like I had a voice in that, other than, I mean, I got told several things that I was wrong for certain things, and I was like, I'm sorry, you haven't been here for the last 5 months. You have no idea. But I'll gladly listen to you, but then you're gonna listen to me too.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I got my ass chewed out for how the meeting went the last time you were here. And I'm like, I get that you feel like Ron was disrespected and that people weren't paying attention. There were issues going on. There was confusion about the meeting. People thought different times they had gotten 2 different meetings mixed up. That one member, you even thought it was a meeting. It was at 1 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. So everybody thought they were late, on time, all kinds of different chaos. And the fact that you and I have talked about it, we don't have productive meetings when you're there. You know this. We've talked about you not being at every single employee meeting, because we actually get stuff done when you're not there. But when you're there, all we do is listen to you talk. We've talked about that. That's normal. That's what meetings happen when you're there. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason, like, I'm like, I don't think you're ever going to get every employee in this facility to walk into a meeting with Ron Durbin and it'd be like, the president is in town, because you have a relationship with all these people. They've been to other meetings with you. We all know how things work.
Right.
And we know when things are productive too. You gotta understand that this team has done an amazing freaking job building this program. And does it need to be streamlined? Yes. Do things need to be tweaked and perfected and all kinds of stuff? Oh, hell to the yes.
So what's hindering that?
Well, currently the fact that the money that has been earned by these people is not still sitting in the bank account.
Well, I don't think you understand that there's very little money that has been taken back out of this company. Very little.
I've seen the money. I've seen that.
What?
I've seen, I can probably come up with 100,000. Which, do I think that you should pay yourself back? Yes, absolutely. Do I think it's your money? Yes, absolutely. Do I think you do it during the hindrance to hinder the company that you just started? No.
Okay.
I would think the timing was wrong, or the amounts were wrong.
Look, here's the thing. Timing, whatever, doesn't matter.
But I have the right to have my opinion about somebody I'm in partner with in business.
Sure do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Like, we don't have to agree.
No.
Okay.
But I would tend to agree with you.
I would think you'd be crazy to join with me if I spent money like that.
No, but here's the thing though. If I understood things to be different and the numbers had been presented to me in a different way, then things would have been. I would have approached things in a different manner.
But I was talking to you, and I was telling you we have all that money from the COO money that's not ours. I was telling you we were collecting the fees.
We have a pretty good chunk of that set aside.
Yes, and a lot that hasn't even been paid or billed yet. Right. Yes, I do.
So, with regards to the money in the company, just so you understand, they have, and I don't know why, way over exaggerated the situation and created an unnecessary concern.
Well, I've told them their numbers are not right.
Well, it doesn't matter that.
Oh.
In terms of legal billing that I have, there's 150 to 200K at this point in fucking legal billing that is sitting there in a trust account to be charged. There's actually $354,000
You've
and
been
be
saying
and
that,
be legal
but
trust
so
accountant.
that's
So
why I
here's the
don't.
thing, whatever concern that was inappropriately created, that I'm going to let this company go under, there's not a fuck. There's this much chance of that.
You are assuming that inappropriate assumption came from what just happened with Angela and Mary Jo, which are the two newest people in the company. Although Mary Jo's family, I get that, but this has been a concern that a lot of people in this company, which we started out being transparent with, and then turned non-transparent with, have had their concerns, because they've seen the spending, they've been a part of the spending, they've been at the spending.
But here's the thing,
So,
they're
but
getting their paychecks.
they see the numbers too, but the whole point about building a company is that you have, so, like, and this would be my opinion of the way I would do business versus you and your opinion of the way you do business, so just keep that in mind. People have different concepts when it comes to finances and stuff. Me, I need 3 months of operating expenses in the bank at all times, and that's the norm. Then I have an emergency savings account, and that qualifies for certain emergencies. And then I have a backup savings account just for the unheard of, because it always happens.
Right.
And then, only then, is everything else covered again for at least 1 month,
Sure.
and then there's profit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I even have a plan for how that profit's broke down and how it gets spent.
So
And
why
then
can't
each
you-
of these other things, when
Why can't you
I
put that into place?
when I created, well, I wasn't given any information. I'm just saying, listen, no, hold on.
Okay.
All those things, just the fact that we didn't have enough money to get through like 1 or 2 more paychecks, and not anything was suggested of any other, like I was like, we can make that money in a month. We can make that money in a month. I'm like, why do we, for one, we're talking about reoccurring money, so you got this much in the bank, you got this much coming out in 2 weeks, you got this much coming out in 2 weeks, you got this much, how much is coming in 2 weeks, how much is coming in 2 weeks, and then how much can we add on top of that? And I explained that there's clients that had not been billed correctly through the OSPI, OB and DD thing, D-Day, that's been addressed and needed to be taken care of, not given any opportunity to put that into fruition or work on that. I haven't gotten an opportunity to address that because I've been dealing with all of this, which needed to happen. So prioritize everything, but I'm telling them there's money to be had right there. Not to mention, everybody, first thing Cassie's job was supposed to be was to touch every single account and find out what their needs are. Not, Dana had a different thing planned, but not what my plan was, and I told everybody when we did that job, what I want done is gonna get done first. I wanted her to contact every single client, find out what their needs are, how we met them, what do we need to do next, get a game plan, and then tell them what we will talk to them about their account to make sure that they're signed up on the right account. So that gives us an opportunity to readdress everybody's accounts.
Right.
I streamlined the program so that the program now has processes in place that we can see where the lapses happen.
Right.
There's no way to get past one.
But that didn't happen.
I was in the process of it again, at the same time not being able to give it any of the priority that it needs, because I'm now to take care of this, and then this happens, and then take care of this, and then this happens, and then take care of this, and then this happens. Like, this is not how I work. This is not how I function. This is not, the way I am with people right now is not how I communicate with people. I'm not talking about with you, I'm overly doing it for you, like, honestly, because I care. Otherwise, I'd be like, done a long time ago, because it's been that difficult. And I know you don't, I don't complain like that. I try to work around
Yeah,
it.
we just went to dinner the other night.
And I had a great time. I told you the day before I needed to talk to you, and you told me no business. So I respected
Yeah, I
it.
thought, I didn't, Heather,
No, I said it in a paragraph with
I
about 6
understand.
different sentences that started with I need, I want, I need, I want. And I did it on purpose to overly
I'm
exaggerate.
sorry, I did not perceive the need, I did not.
I understand things can be going on and everything that can even like overpower our brains to where we're not even able to concentrate. I have moments where I can't even remember a conversation
That's where
I
I'm
just
at,
had.
that's where I'm at.
I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe our brains go through
Well,
even trauma.
don't have a fear of failure or being let down.
I have a huge,
Be cause for that, because here's where I'm at, just so you know. At the end of the day, you know what I like to do. I like to build things. I like to run around and
I don't want the agreement that you want to do with Carrie and them in Oklahoma City. I don't agree with that. I don't like the agreement that you have with the legal firm, with Alex. I don't, there's so much that I don't like. I don't know that
Why didn't you communicate?
I have Right.
Okay, so agree on Carrie. What is your issue? What are you not happy about?
Trichome in Oklahoma City, and we should be running it, and it should be, we can staff them to do it, but we should be the ones in charge of everything.
What do you mean it's not?
You wanted to bring them on as commission only. You wanted to start them off as commission only, and you
As
wanted
salespeople.
you wanted Carrie to run the people that are doing the
No,
services
she'll
there.
run them. So essentially, okay.
Like she's a staffing company. I know what that
No,
means.
no, but it'd be under us. So essentially, it'd be a contract where they would.
I don't want to teach them our program and then have them run our program.
Well, let's not do it then.
No, hold on. It takes one person to go there to set it up correctly, and it'd be like a Subway.
But can we
It's our
say?
franchise.
How can we? I'm fine with that. How can we get them to be sales only then?
We hire people that they suggest for us to hire for the services they need done in
Great.
that area.
So then instead of teaching them what we do,
We
so then what we
go
would do
figure
then,
out which ones of them
that
can.
was what they're supposed to. They're not supposed to know. They're not supposed to learn what you do.
The secret sauce.
Right. No. What they're supposed to do is sell.
Okay, but if you do the math where Carrie is getting 15% off the initial.
15 and 12.
Right, and then 12 every month off what they pay. Look at the amount of that you're giving away to them for just doing the sales. Like, it doesn't sustain. That I have a problem with. And then what?
Well, there's no final agreement.
Well, but why are they getting commission off the sales that way when they're going to be getting revenue from running the office there?
They're not running that.
It should be where they get a % from us or something of that, or we get a standard 40 and they get 60 and that's they run the business. We're Subway, you're going to follow our recipe, our program, and it's going to be set up exactly the same. Like you could walk into one mirror after mirror, not really physically that way, but you know what I'm saying. It's done the exact same way.
Sure.
But they do exactly what we instruct and set up. So we have like one person there running what we do, setting up just like we did here.
Yeah.
Same concept, but keeping it in. Like, I don't want a part of Carrie's company. I want to network with Carrie's company.
I
I want to make money off Carrie's marketing. I want to do that sort of stuff. I want to use the stuff that Carrie has to offer to our clients. Even the things that I've brought to you.
I want to make a percentage.
But even the things I've brought to you that I want to market to our clients, you won't listen and hear me about.
Okay, so
And you know that me saying harvesting
honest.
that metric data is what can get you $7,500 from Dabbergrass right now, because we can actually go look at his manifest when they've shut his metric off. If I hadn't have said that the other day to Jeremy, hey, while you're there, make sure you harvest their metric.
We would have it.
Right. But that's a paid expense that I've been trying to get you to let me put out there, and you advertise about it because that would bring us money. But you don't listen to me say that.
Heather,
why do I think that's going to change?
Not. So what I'm going to do,
I feel like I'm annoying to you.
in the best kind of way.
Right? I don't believe that. I believe it's the.
I wouldn't be sitting
I
here
believe it's
otherwise.
the kind that you can tolerate. Yes, that's. I
Well, I hate
assume
that you feel like it's. I don't go to dinner with people I can tolerate socially.
you might occasionally.
Invite you to fucking dinner
You
on
might-
Chad's 50th birthday.
No,
hang
that
out
was-
hang out afterwards when everybody else is downtown and stay out with you guys later, and invite you back to the house. And I wanted to go to the casino because you were gonna go have fun.
Yeah, that's.
No, I'm often doing that to people. I just don't particularly.
You said we could come back to the house, but you were going to bed.
No, I said you come into the house, or I'm.
You
Otherwise, I'm
said
gonna go to.
no. You said, but I'm going to bed.
Oh, I was probably tired. I wasn't drinking that. That was one of the first nights I'd been out and not drink.
I don't know if you drank or not.
Yeah,
I don't remember. It was that
So-
night. Chad Bibler.
so-
Have you seen that shit?
Yes. Oh my God, that dude.
Is any of it true?
He's.
So-
nuts.
That you're a part owner of. Did you have a 10% ownership in people's companies with a company called Are You Okay?
No.
What was that?
No, it's Chad Bibler.
Is he the one that said that Are You Okay? No, he's not the one that told me about Are You Okay?
Here's the thing. I have 0% interest. It's an easy answer to all the questions. I've never owned a single
Are
solitary
you the
interest.
agent? The registered agent?
I'm registered agent for 1,000 companies.
You are.
Yeah, as a lawyer. I'm
No,
registered
see, here's
agent
my
for
thought.
everyone I set
Them
up.
talking about them all being Viridian clients. Yeah, we probably did their renewals. You probably Viridian.
Or Christina and them represented that at some point.
Like it doesn't
Fuck
matter.
yeah.
But
I'm the registered agent on every freaking
people are
company that we
talking.
set
People
up.
want to know why you're only taking the criminal cases and you're not doing any of the other cases.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm leaving.
Okay. That's,
Chad He left. He'll be right back though.
Where'd he go?
You
Back
know
to
where
Home
he went.
Depot?
Yes, he'll be right back.
Will you bring me my pouch with my dog in it? Okay, thank you. My dog's sick. He's asleep in his bag.
So, there was zero chance. One with regards to carry, just so you see, that would be commission
Oh, I can't
first
see.
year. So that's the income on your 420 package at 12. Is it really 420 or is it more than that?
It's $420 with no more than a $20 off discount for multiple licenses.
So anyway, that 50/40, and then the commission on the first year would be 756. Commission on subsequent years would be 604. But that gives you somebody that's so we'd only be losing 604 on subsequent years to $4,400.
What is subsequent years? Every year?
Yeah,
Every 12 months?
Just like an insurance person.
Gotcha.
But the numbers come off of an insurance contract numbers. Those are the numbers that essentially what standard insurance companies do. Actually, some on a whole life and stuff pays more, but that number on a sustainable rate, if they now have an outside interest in keeping our clients coming to us, it's worth giving them $604 to manage a client for a fucking year.
No,
it's $60 a month, or $50.
What are they going to manage the client to make sure all this work's getting done?
No.
So what do you mean by manage
all
the client?
they would do.
They should.
And they haven't. No. Yes.
Well, with my program, the way I have
they
it.
could. They absolutely could. But would you want them?
Only if it's trichome doing it, not
Well,
if
I wouldn't
it's Carrie
want them-
Chronic.
Yeah, but I don't want them anywhere. I don't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole into the business. Heather, she's got too much baggage.
She's got amazing connections.
She
A lot
does
of
have
people do
amazing
listen to her, and
connections.
she can bring a lot of
She
money,
can
and
sell a
she has a
crap
lot of services too
ton
that she
of
already
this.
does do good business. She does make money. She's a business person.
I want to go strangle Mary Jo and Angela right now.
They didn't cause all of this.
They did.
They're the reason it came to a head. But
No,
I
because
appreciate
you think,
them and
you think,
what
no,
they
because
did.
you think things incorrectly because they have been pushing shit that I have fucking
Wait,
been.
what do you think I think incorrectly?
I didn't want anybody to fucking go.
I didn't
I
think
told
you
them that I
did.
would cover the fucking money a long motherfucking time ago. I said, but
They
let's
said
see
you
what.
can't keep doing it every month.
I said let's let Heather see what. Let's see what Heather. I definitely
my options weren't.
Because I wanted to see what decision you came up with, and I thought you and I would have a conversation when you made a decision. So when I got that text this morning, I thought you had made the decision. I'm like, well, fuck, I thought Friday we were saving everybody.
I asked to talk to you like 2 days ago.
When I got that text this morning, I literally was on my way to freaking court, and I'm like, oh, I guess Heather decided. Because Friday,
Mary Jo has said that she's kept you informed on everything every single day. Every day she's going to go home and
no
tell you.
decision had been made, and that the goal was to keep everybody.
I had told.
That was what I was told freaking yesterday.
Last week, I had made several decisions, plus I wasn't heard, and the first decision I made, nobody wanted to let me make a decision.
Well, here's where...
Because I said
take
nobody gets laid
responsibility.
off last week, and I said nobody's coming in for the meeting last week. I made sure that didn't happen, and I said... we're going to get. I'm not going to be put under pressure and be told a deadline when I have to make this decision.
I didn't know any of that. Heather, look at me. I didn't fucking know any of that.
Mary Jo made it sound like you guys were staying. She and you were staying very, which I thought was great for her to be keeping you informed.
I was under the impression that you were going through still trying to figure out what it is that you wanted to do.
I was trying to figure out
and
the
I was
numbers.
trying to stay out of it.
I was trying to figure out the numbers,
Yes,
where are
ma'am.
we getting
and I
these
was
numbers?
trying to stay out of it to let you make a decision and come to a decision where you didn't feel like I pressured you on anything. Because one of the things you always complain about, though, is that you feel unheard or that you feel like I pushed you to something. And I was truly trying to give you the facts of the situation and go, in this situation, what is it that Heather wants to do? And what I was told, basically last Friday, is you think you can sell your way out of it. And my fucking response to that was, I do too.
It was before last Friday that I made a proposition and came up with a program and was told it wasn't enough. But I didn't understand because that plus the ongoing and reoccurring money, if the money was
there was no chance of fucking this company ever being. I got plenty of shit I can sit down and fucking bill. There was 0% fucking percent chance of anybody being let go at this company that I didn't want to fucking let go.
Did you already let Joe go?
No.
Okay, so because I was told you were letting Joe go on Monday.
No.
I was told you were letting Joe go last week, and I asked them not to.
Yes, and that's when I was told that, hey, you said you thought everybody could save everybody, and I was like, fucking fantastic. I love that news. Because I was like, I was going to let Heather make the freaking decision.
Didn't think I was going to be able to say Joe. I don't think his
But I didn't
position
have
was
the
worth
fucking
it.
heart to do
But
it
I
to
did
Joe,
want to
and
get
I
through the
wasn't gonna
holidays.
fucking-
I did express this stuff to both of them. I wanted to get through the
I was
holidays.
saying the same fucking thing, just so you know.
And that I
feel
still
absolutely
felt like
fucking played.
evaluating his position was completely warranted. I did feel that, Joe
Yes.
wouldn't have a future, but that we'd get through the holidays. And then I didn't know
Well, I was gonna,
Sam was
even if I
even
let him
on.
go, I was gonna fucking tell him I was gonna pay him through the fucking holidays anyway. So.
Well, I didn't know Sam was even on our payroll, so she wasn't a concern or consideration because I made the deal with Susan that I wouldn't take Sam from them because I'd taken all their other receptionists.
Well, I
So
don't need Sam. I didn't know I didn't know until the other day that Nikki was answering the damn phones for Tricom. So my thing was, why do I have Sam?
I don't.
And here's the thing, because at the firm, Susan or Michelle can answer the damn phones.
And Sam doesn't answer the phones sometimes, like just turns them off.
I got 5 voicemails forwarded from Sam today. And I'm like, why am I getting voicemails forwarded to me from the fucking phone, Heather? I get it. I get all of your frustration. But in order for me to not let you down, I need help.
Dude, I've been doing I don't know what else more I could help with.
No,
I mean, like, I have so much information and knowledge for you and stuff to, like, enlighten you with. I don't know how to offer any more than.
How do I free myself? How do I so, I want to ditch the law firm, but there's nobody else that can do it.
And it's probably not the right time because.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Right now we've got all of these violations that are easy money. You would never even have to go to court over them.
I just published that I was taking those at $500 today.
Everybody's going to think it's a gimmick that you're going to refer them to somebody else. They think that we've been running a racket this whole time. We've referred a butt ton to Alex, and part of them were to John, and had actually the over the limits, the sign cases. Now we have the affidavit cases. Plus we have.
Well, the affidavit cases we're not going to refer out. And here's the thing.
Plus we also have the ones that are not getting submitted. We have those as well, and we have the transfers. So we have a lot of legal situations right now. And every one of these people people don't like me
they don't want to go to
anymore.
Else.
People don't know me anymore. They don't like me anymore, and don't believe anything I say because I'm so tired of saying, "Ron will take care of that. Ron will call you. Ron will reply. You can see Ron. I'll set that up with you and Ron." I can't get any of that to happen. Like you and Haley, the two of you trying to get either one of you to do anything. Like I don't know if you guys were brother and sister. Like I feel like it's like almost like a phobia or a mental block that if it comes out of my mouth and it says I want, or can you, or will you, or I don't know, it doesn't happen.
You know what it is?
And then you put it back on somebody else and make it always their responsibility to make sure you do it. Okay, we all have other shit we got to take care of too. So I'm not your assistant. I can't do that. I still can't even get through my own damn emails or my own damn text messages. And I don't work this way. This has changed my whole life in such not a good way. But I still believe in the program, and I know it's all actually there. But I also think we're losing our opportunity to be getting this right too. But I don't know how you would make me feel confident in our ability to be partners in so many aspects of. I don't think you're all of a sudden going to start listening to me. I don't think that you're going to, like, I can tell you something is a need or something needs to be taken care of. Like right now, the lease agreement for this client that I told you I need to have done, but I've said I've got questions. This one's one I can't just fill out the template. So you told me to type them out. Just write them out, put them with the template, shoot your questions over. Okay, for me, I feel like I'm doing the work. If I'm going to sit there and type it out, it's like, why don't I just research this shit myself or something? Like, I feel like if you can't listen to me and take some notes for me telling you something because you respect my time limits, It's like you're asking me to do more of my time.
But
For
conveying
you,
it
but when
orally-
I've actually done it, you don't do any better with it.
Okay.
So both ways, even if it's something you did write down, or I wrote it down for you, or I wrote it down and emailed it to you, I still don't get the attention either any of them deserve.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, so-
There's been a lot of balls dropped.
I agree.
And-
I'm not perfect by any means.
Yeah,
Don't think
I mean,
I have failed at many things, and I have had to eat crow, and I have had to own, and
I'm having to do it right now. I
it
understand.
sucks, and I get it. And but do I think you have good intentions? Yes, absolutely, I do. Do I think that you, even every action that you made, the intentions were obvious? Do I think badly of you? No. Do I believe most of what you say? Yes. Do I believe you when you say you're going to do something? No.
Okay.
Will I refer your services to my people? No. That's a problem for me.
Can you not give me a chance, and us a chance to make this work, Heather?
I'll talk to my husband.
We came to the decision to do this.
This decision didn't come lightly for me. I
Okay.
discussed with my husband. I'll talk with my husband again. I'm not going to tell him not to take my stuff. I'm not.
That's okay.
He came all the way here. I'm not going to.
Look, you've got to do what you've got to do, and I respect that. But we came into this with
Oh, it's
the
in my hand.
intention
Sorry.
of building something great,
Mhm.
and we have had speed bumps along the way. But it is not worth throwing the baby out with the bathwater when it is all stuff that, instead of looking backwards, we can look forward and go, we have a bright future if we resolve these things. Are there issues? Well, Heather, we're 5 months old.
Yes.
There are absolutely
I agree
issues.
100% with you, but you don't take into consideration the amount of times that I feel like I have tried to work something, communicate something, to do the things that you're saying that I haven't given it a chance. You gotta look at it from my point of view.
I see that.
Okay. I mean, from the get-go, it has been in a sense of when I start to talk, something's, I need to ask something, question, talk about something, it is immediately backburnered. Like, it is, nope, that's not a thing. Nope, that's not a thing. Nope, that's not a thing. So I've given it a lot of tries. I've given a lot of efforts. I've given a lot of workarounds. I've done a lot. I understand you, and I understand that your brain works differently. Like our brains don't relate in that aspect. But I felt like I was even doing pretty good with trying to make sure I was getting at least what I had to have accomplished with you.
Sure.
You got to understand, I'm not taking this lightly in any way, shape, or form, and this is very emotional to me, and very, I don't like being put into a position where I have to make a decision that I felt like I was doing everything I could to not get to that place.
Yeah, I don't like that you felt like that either.
And that you didn't know that I was getting, like us working together, you couldn't see the signs that we were having problems. That bothers me.
Well,
Me telling you wasn't enough.
you asked to talk, which we talk a lot, and that we didn't talk the last couple of days. And Heather, I really have been running around with these criminal charges, looking into things, trying to figure out this stuff, and so
I have not been pounding at your
I
door.
understand, and now I wish that I had fully understood how expedient a conversation needed to happen. And what I will tell you is this: I don't agree that we don't communicate well at all, and I think I listened to you when there's the opportunity to do so. I think I've listened to you tonight, but I want to point out a difference. There's really two differences. One, that's different. The silence. We never talk. You and me sitting down without you trying to take a call or do something, without me trying to take a call and do something. We sit there and we ping pong back and forth.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because very early on you told me you don't like it when I'm on the phone and I'm in your presence. Very early on, I learned to put my phone aside. Only recently did I start getting back on my phone in your
Well, then
presence.
I've done it, and I've done it. Then I've done a
You've
bad
always
job.
done it.
I've done a bad job.
Yeah, that's one of those do as I say, not do as I do things.
You
for
know what? And as I'm sitting here,
You know I'm right.
absolutely, this kind of conversation is something that must happen recurrent and regularly. You being frustrated and me staying out of something and trying to see what and let you come up with something, that was the wrong call.
But I mean, if I was tasked with coming up with something, why wasn't any of the things I come up with?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you there because I don't know what the counter proposals were.
To make money to sign
well,
more
and I was on
clients.
board with the make money proposal, and I thought that was the proposal Friday, and I thought we weren't letting anybody off. And then
It was
when I get the
earlier
text
than
message
Friday.
today, I swear to you, when I got the text message today, I was like, "What the fuck changed?" Okay,
What's the text message?
about that they were going to let the decision was made to let them go today, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought that was off the table.
Yeah, well,
And so I thought you had made the decision that was something that you wanted to have happen. And so I'm like...
I had told them last week I wanted it off the table. I wanted it tabled. And they told me no. And that I had to have a decision made by Friday. And then I made sure the meeting didn't happen Friday because Morgan stayed home sick and I told Cameron to go home sick.
Good. That was a great idea. And so then Dana talks to me today. I come in and they say something about Dana's not happy, and I'm like, what the hell is Dana not happy about? Because I figured if you were okay with it, Dana certainly fucking knew about it because I figured you told Dana.
We talk always.
And so then I'm like, she's unhappy. I was like, well, how did the decision get made to do this then? If that was
Dana and Nikki were in the meeting on Friday briefly, and nothing was said about losing employees. But the budget was pulled up, the profit loss sheet was pulled up, and we were talking about numbers. And I kept saying over and over again, I don't believe these numbers are correct. That my math doesn't match this. This doesn't seem right. So
I'm always the I can make more money guy. You know how my philosophy is.
But they, being as smart as they themselves are, knew there was a problem. So both of them talked to me over the weekend of like, so what's going on? What happened? I talked to every single employee over the weekend. They all know something's happening. Nobody's an idiot around here. They all can tell. I have been out of check for a week and a half. Every day I'm here, I'm in the office with them. I get a few minutes to try to rush through something. And then
it is not bad that people understand that we are a 4.5-month-old company.
It's not bad, but they also deserve answers.
They absolutely deserve answers. And quite frankly,
things had changed recently, and permissions were changed, and nobody was talked to about that. And people were told that reimbursements were wrong, and nobody got talked to about that. And different things.
Reimbursements were wrong. Who's reimbursement?
Alyssa put in for reimbursement.
Yeah, I told them to pay that.
They didn't. They
I know,
hadn't.
and they told me, and I yelled at them today when they said that it had been paid. I have
Okay,
said that.
This is just an example.
I know.
Okay,
so,
but
please
Morgan,
don't
I'm not mad at you, but I'm
trying to fix it.
I'm trying to get you to see.
I see it.
Okay, so
I see it. I see everything you want me to see, Heather. I honestly. I see it.
You being frustrated with me
No, I'm
because
not frustrated with you.
explain.
I'm not frustrated with you. Please, this is not me with you.
Okay.
Don't think this is me frustrated
I
with
want you to understand there's a lot more problems than you're aware of.
Yes.
Morgan was greatly upset and has been because of what happened right before she went to Coley, because you told her you wanted her taken off of hourly, you wanted her put on salary because you're not going to pay her overtime anymore, which is telling somebody that the work they did for you wasn't worth what you did.
What I said.
But then you turned around on the same day and sent her to Coley after 6 p.m. and said this is priority, don't leave till it's done.
I said we will never send you somewhere and not bill the client.
No, we did bill the client, yes, and she understood that.
For it.
But when you tell somebody that you want to put them on salary because you don't want to pay them overtime.
No, I don't.
That just
yes,
think of how that sounds to the
I don't
person.
want to track and calculate overtime.
I know what you mean by the way you say it. But when you're telling somebody that after they just put in like 20 hours of overtime in 2 weeks for you,
it's because they don't need to be worrying about their freaking hours and tracking hours.
You don't word it the right way. You didn't word it the right way.
with wording
okay,
it.
but that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
like,
I suck at that.
There's nothing I could do to make the better because when you say something like that, it is offensive. You got to understand that. This is an example of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
I got you.
But being able to come to you and talk to you about a situation, it's very difficult. I do understand that you feel like I get defensive or that like overly explain or make a bigger deal out of it. Then neither here nor there. I don't feel like I do it as much as you act like I'm doing it. Like me just trying to talk about something is not me making a big deal out of it. This is the first time I'm trying to talk to you about it. And then that makes it frustrating to want to talk to you about it.
It comes because it's on top of
all the other stuff.
Heather, that's the fucking problem. Let's just be honest. The problem is that our communication has not been done in a way that is conducive to communicating. And so what you're feeling is my unwillingness to listen, which is not true. I'm willing to listen.
I don't think it's necessarily just your unwillingness to listen. I don't think it's like, I don't just categorize it like that. I think you're a particular type of human being and the way your mind works. I respect it. I respect you for who you are and how you deal and process things. You obviously accomplish stuff. Don't get me wrong. You're good at what you do. Or what you've been choosing to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I just lump sum it like that. I don't.
Sure.
I think it's all of the above and the combination. Like, I think the combination between you and I and our personalities. For one, I'm an easy person to joke around with, play with, pick at a little. It's almost like a moth to a flame. I get that. I accept that. But at other times, when you're trying to be serious or you have something serious you need to talk about, it can get insultive when you're put aside because I get it. You don't have time right now to hear about it. But then also a joke made makes it worse. Like, and then still not even get acknowledged that I still have this for you. Like, I still need it. And then it doesn't, like, it just went away. Yeah. Shit like that. Like, you've got to understand the way you acknowledge people or the way you treat people has something to do with their ability to interact with you as well. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I think that I'm, capable of working on that, and I think that we can work on our communication style and have a timing. And make that something that's more conducive. One, face-to-face. Two, me, as much as anybody, not having a phone, no distractions. If about 5,000 other things going on, if 15 other people walking in there, knocking on the door, getting our attention. We've only been interrupted one time tonight, right? And even the dog has interrupted us less, right?
He's not feeling good.
I know you said that. We have built something that provides people with an opportunity to
save their businesses.
Yeah, we're not perfect. We're far from perfect.
I understand that, and I even get that you're coming from a whole different field, being the legal field. I came from the medical field. There's two different realms even. I even get that. I take all that into consideration. I don't expect anybody to be perfect, trust me.
Well, so
I expect human nature means mistakes.
Yeah, well, so let's work from the mistakes.
Let me talk to my husband. Let me get
No,
some
I'm not asking you to make a decision right this second. I'm not. You don't have to make a decision.
I want to talk to the team too, because the team was apparently making decisions on their own as well.
Yeah, I don't understand that either, because I value. Somebody said something about I don't value. I value every freaking last person here. Now look, I don't know Sam that well. I'll be quite frank with you. Cassie, I'm the one that hired Cassie. I like Cassie.
Yeah.
I didn't want Cassie to go. I literally had a conversation about no matter what I was going to save her, but until she quits today. I don't know what the heck happened there.
She's upset with you about something legally.
Yeah, but here's the thing. She asked about something that was going to happen, and I told Mary Jo what was going to happen, and to tell her this is what's going to happen. And it's just going to get passed because of this criminal case. It's exactly what happened, and I didn't have a chance to talk to her because I was dealing with everybody else that needed my damn attention.
No, I understand that.
So it wasn't that I wasn't trying to talk to her about a personal problem.
I'm just telling you, she had a problem with you, but that's all I'm saying.
I can't be perfect. I can't. I'm not perfect.
Nobody's expecting you to be. Nobody's expecting anybody to be, and we do that to ourselves even, and I'm not okay with I don't expect to be perfect. I don't try to be perfect, but I am not good with how far from perfect I am right now. So,
I'm
but
not
that's
either.
that's my own
But
ability
without
to
us,
live in
without
with
us,
myself.
these people are like, I'm sorry, going into the wind. I mean, you and I both know that with the complexities of all of this, yeah, you could service a few people, take care of them, provide them some great service. But you and I both know that we have dreams of being and doing something bigger. This is a roadblock temporarily to what we've got going on. Every bit of it, okay, I got a client that's pissed off. I'll do some free freaking legal work, and they know it's going to be better than anybody else. Darren's mad at me. I'll take the man to lunch. I'll kiss his ass for a minute. Darren and y'all will be fine. I like Darren, even if he is mad at me.
He's not mad at you. He doesn't dislike you.
Okay.
No.
I am interested in the daggum packaging deal. I'm interested in... Heather, let me be clear. You talk about a lot of ideas.
More than you don't even know about.
And I say I'm all in. And I think you expect me to do something next?
No, I just like anything. Like it never gets discussed again, or I tell you I have to. I've told you I need to know information by certain dates and times. I'm sorry. I do actually lay it all out there.
You know what? Because you are the easiest person to neglect.
It is
I'm just going to be freaking frank with you. You're
true.
the easiest person to neglect. Because until tonight, I felt like you were the strongest person with me. And it was the easiest to neglect
I
you.
still am the strongest person.
Because
I mean, I
you're the
really
strongest
am.
person with me is like not going to leave me and like we're in this together.
Our bond.
People in the boat together. We're not going to
Our bond. I thought you were meaning like I don't.
No,
I'm
I
not
meant
strong.
like the bond. So I think neglect you because it's easiest to neglect the people that you're the closest to.
I give you props for figuring that out. I know that about myself.
I know that.
I know that about myself.
I neglect the people I know I can neglect because
Everybody
I know
does.
that they'll forgive me, and I'm
Everybody
sorry.
does.
Everybody does, and I'm sorry that it has driven you to this. I truly am sorry.
You gotta understand my concern is strictly business and being actually very good and smart. And my dad taught me a lot, and I don't think I'm like,
Heather, with the help that you with
making business decisions, look at yourself and look at me, and don't tell me you would not question somebody to not think twice about being a partner with you. You've made some bad decisions. Your communication is poor.
Heather, I've made lots of bad decisions.
You don't, but bad enough ones that it could let somebody question that, whether or not they'd want to be partners with you based off of your spending preferences.
You stole my letterhead and used it.
I understand that, and I owned
we
it.
all do. Me too.
Yeah.
I own mistakes. So here's the thing.
But to me, not putting money back in to make sure people have paychecks before Christmas.
But the money was.
I asked them. I even said, why wasn't I asked? I even said that. Like, does anybody have any idea how much money I have? I don't think y'all do. Oh, you're okay, bud. What's wrong? I think his shot spot. I don't know.
When you get shot?
Today, I think it was in his back.
It's probably just, is that, and then it's a lethargic and not feel good.
Well, yeah, and he's on diarrhea medicine.
Yeah. Look, we're not going to run out of fucking money. I can put in 100, 150, 200 grand. I have a house that I would sell before I let this company go under. Please understand that when I said I'm
I
100,
was literally put on
Heather,
the block of being told. When I said
don't
no,
understand.
I was
because
told
here's
too
the
bad.
thing. I think that Mary Jo does not understand. I'm all in.
I've had to educate them. Like, they wanted to know why Dana thinks that she's in charge, and I said because we were hired to think that way. When we were hired, Dana and I thought we were in charge. Then Joe was hired, and then he thought he was in charge. And then we had no idea that Grant was in charge. Like, I've had to explain to them why things.
We've had that. Look, here's the thing though. At the end of the day, we have whatever it is in the freaking insane world that we live in. It has led us to a company that employs some pretty freaking amazing people.
Yeah.
Has some amazing clients that we can take a lot better care of. And I have faults, and I won't ever not. But a month ago, I drank. I don't drink anymore.
I think you're capable of change. Carrie even told me that didn't like you before you had a heart attack, and that she thought your heart attack changed you some way because she likes you better. She likes the Ron after the heart attack better than the Ron before the heart attack.
I used to smoke. I don't smoke. I freaking used to be. I know. So what I'm saying is, there is too much here.
Let me think.
I'm not making.
I'm
going to tell you my
agreeing.
position.
Okay.
There's too much here. I would rather give it to you and walk away, which I think is I think you need me just as much to be strong. I think we need each other. I think we need everybody, which is why I was going to make all them owners, because I think from Dana to Alyssa to Nikki to Jeremy, I was going to give ownership to all of them because I told you this the other night, because it's us that make this fucking strong. And it's us that can take this to the next level and be something that's achievable. Dana asked today, she said, well, why do we do that computer program? We need the computer program because that lets y'all take it to the next daggum level. And we're not doing this to get by.
But so the computer program and getting that program written is something I don't agree with. Like I don't get an opportunity to talk to you about it because here's why. To tell you why I don't agree with it, I would like to show you some things. Okay. Am I going to get the time to show you anything? Are you actually going to? I'd like you to show you what we work with and why I think something else would be a better choice.
Something else like another program?
Well, I mean, I think what you're wanting to pay them to do can be done in a more simpler way. Okay. I mean, there's ways out there to do exactly that without paying them to do that sort of thing, to do it that way. We don't, and what they're doing is making a copy of other. Yeah.
For $25,000.
Yeah, but we can do that. Like I've already streamlined some processes that if.
But we can't do it in a way that will API it into the program. And here's the thing: at the end of the day, the $25K.
No, our main APIs it into every bit of the program.
Great. Whatever
and
program,
other
however
programs.
we do it, I don't care. If you have another different way to do it, that's fantastic. But as I told Dana, and I don't know where this confusion comes from. The company doesn't have $25,000 to pay for this. I'll pay for the damn fucking thing. I ain't worried about it.
We all hear you say things like that, but when you walk in and be told that people have to be fired and that they're not going to get paid before Christmas, I'm going to believe them. Like I said, you don't need you to prove it to me.
So the payroll is overinflated, and we have people on the payroll that are unnecessary.
So I would have made. So I came up with.
We agree.
But I came up with different options, and nobody. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I'm sorry. Adding 65 clients to the roster in 1 month's time would definitely be enough to make payroll for next month.
I never.
Hold on. I'm just letting you. I'm not blaming you. I'm explaining to you where I'm coming from.
I get where you're coming from.
Okay, so. Let me think about this. You're talking about you believe in everybody here that built this company. I don't know how much you put into this company to start with. Do you feel like you've been paid back? Can I see the math on that?
Sure.
Because I feel like what at least is left is what the company's earned, and you might have gotten your startup money back. I don't know, and I wouldn't want you to be gypped in any way. I just would like to know.
Of course.
There's numbers like that needed. No, everything is generalized. No, if I signed on with you right now, seeing the profit loss sheet that I was signing on, I'd be like straight up signing to go to prison or something. It's all jumbled and put in places it's not supposed to be. I know you guys are going to fix it before you do your taxes, but what I see right now doesn't look good at all.
Today, so they'll get that figured out.
I mean, and I knew that. I'm not accusing anybody of anything by looking at that. I'm just
the
telling you
they were.
So
here's the thing: the accountant will do that math.
I'm not done.
Go ahead.
Okay, so. Another thing that would have been an option to me was instead of a reason to fire so many people. For one, I was never proven to the math as to why it needs to be this way. I would like that to happen. And I'd asked for it several times, and I've done everything under the sun that I don't see where the accounting is correct. Also, I don't see the overhead being as high as it has been, which show me where it is you paying yourself back, and I get that. I understand that. Show me what is what. I would appreciate that. I can make educated decisions that way. As well as every person here would take a pay cut or go back to 99 and that would save 23 to 25% right there. For a cut of the company. For a cut of the company.
I'm giving part of the company.
No, you say that, You say a lot of things that don't happen.
Okay.
That's your own flaw. You gotta own it. Okay,
Willful
this would have
neglect.
been a great opportunity to say, like, guys, stick this out with me, and here's your reward. Because
I
every
didn't
one
know
of
y'all
these
were
people,
quitting.
I did not make that decision until today, but I was told over the weekend that I had 100% support of my husband if I chose to do that. So I had the ability to make the decision. I have to live with myself, and this is what I don't understand. What didn't get relayed over the last week was the amount of times I said no, the amount of times I said it needs to be tabled, the amount of times I said there's other options, and all the different things I came up with.
Have you ever known me to put money over a person before in your life?
I don't know you well enough to
Have
know
you've known
that.
Me, you've known
No,
me
I think
for
you have an
decent-
amazing relationship with Grant, Haley. I think you're a very forgiving person. I think that you believe in second chances. I believe you understand what putting a person in their place means. Like, I can like you, and we can be great in this realm. Like you and Clint,
Yeah.
we don't do this well together.
Well,
I think that's admirable. I think there's a lot about you that I find. I don't think you feel mutually the same with me, because I do give you the time and effort and the respect, and that I do listen, and I do take everything you say into account, and I do actually try to accomplish everything you task me with. The opposite's not true. So, and not in the aspect of, well, you didn't know you needed to do that until now you realize you needed to actually, treat me differently or show me respect or what have you.
I understand.
The fact that you get to this point, I mean, you got to understand somebody's our abilities to make our decisions in life. The only thing in this world that you can control is yourself. There's nothing else in this world that you can control. You have to take responsibility for the decisions that you make as well.
Absolutely.
I don't believe I'm a victim at all.
I agree.
I've lived, you've lived, everybody's lived. I don't believe one life is harder than another, one sin is worse than another. I believe it's all real. I have every right to make a decision of what I'm doing with my life.
You sure do.
And what I'm going to be a part of, and how I'm going to be in this world, and what my values are. And I can be shown stuff, and be a part of stuff, and be told stuff, and learn stuff, and make an educated decision. I have the ability to do it, and I have the right to do it. I need you to understand that I have been going through everything you want me to all of a sudden just start doing.
Yeah.
You haven't been.
I agree that I have not taken care of some of the things that I did not realize.
No, I think it's awesome that you're acknowledging some flaws in this, by all means.
So here's the thing.
I'm just not making a decision right now, and
No,
I told you I'll think
I
about
don't
it.
want you to make a decision right now. Again,
Okay.
you think I'm pressuring you. I'm just
No,
having a conversation. I'm really just having a conversation because,
No, I
if
feel-
you
I
make
feel
the
the
decision
stress that
if
you're
you
under.
make the decision, well, I want you to understand.
I don't feel like you're pressuring me.
What-
I feel the stress you're under, and I understand and respect that.
The stress comes from
The fear, the
fact
not
that
wanting-
I walked in here. Who's the first person I sat down and had a conversation with? I think it blew. I mean, I saw Dana standing right there. I could have gone to the left. I went to the right.
I don't know what that means. What?
I could have said, I could be sitting here having a conversation with Dana, or I could be sitting here having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
All right, I value everything about this, and
I believe that.
stress is. You want to know what I'm stressed about? Yes, this is very stressful, but in some ways, I think it'll be something that hopefully we sit back and one day commiserate about and laugh about, because I believe, and I think you believe in what we're building here, and we've had some freaking speed bumps.
I
along the
beyond
way.
believe in what we're
I
building
do
here.
too.
Okay, here's something that really, really bothers me. You do not acknowledge the fact that I've been doing this for 4 years, that all these people here have been doing a form of this for the past few years, and that we all, like you very much own it on Facebook, and we all know that about you. But the fact that you do it to our faces is very.
What more do I need to do? Because
You don't. You say this is yours. You say this is that. You don't want to hear about it that we used to do this. You want us to sign a non-compete clauses. No, you say this is yours. You say it all the time.
ours.
You say it's yours all the time.
I also call my
anybody.
clients. So here's the thing. I also call my clients' businesses ours as
I
well.
understand
It's I take ownership
I understand
of things.
that.
That's just
You
what
don't say this is ours. I'll show you because it's
Well,
on
so
your
here's
Facebook.
the
So I can
thing.
go
So
point
here's
out how
the
many
thing.
Facebooks you say it on. Maybe that'll give you an inclination of if you say it that many times on Facebook, you probably do say it in person to us too. Don't take my word for it. I mean, it's factually countable. You do say it,
Okay.
whether you realize it or
Well,
not.
you also know that I'm a very good lawyer.
Yeah.
And just so you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's factually. I can show you where you do.
Well, just so you know, there are plenty of text messages that you have that would more than enough establish our
The
ownership
opposite of
agreement.
that. I agree. I'm
Et
saying
cetera.
our.
So what
I don't want you to acknowledge it with me. I'm talking about the whole damn team.
Well, I'm sorry that it hasn't come across that way because I truly
Well,
do believe that this is our business.
When I told you
That's
that
why I
nobody's
wanted-
going to sign a non-compete and you flipped out.
Heather, we need employees to sign those.
You know,
That's something that's essential.
I understand, but there needs to be, I understand that. But I also do understand correct and fairness. There's a non-compete, like you don't moonlight and stuff when you're working for a company and that kind of non-compete. And there's a non-compete, like you're not going to work in this business for so many years. Non-compete.
Oh, no,
there's different.
Right.
But
What I'm talking about is you're not going to go steal the client, and that's not a non-compete. You go do what you. And here's the thing: that kind of non-compete's unenforceable anyway.
I understand.
Because you can't take somebody's livelihood away from
I
them.
understand.
No,
and we were doing this previous to doing it before with
right.
Tricom.
It would just
Every
you
one
can't
of
go
us
steal-
have
you can't
done
go
our
steal the
taxes.
company's clients.
Yep.
Is all it would be. Which is you can't do that anyway. You don't have to sign anything. It's called tortious interference with business relations. If somebody did that anyway, they'd be violating that, and I could get an injunction against them. Anybody try to steal a client of this company's.
Right.
I mean, regardless of what y'all decide. So if you think that's not what worries me,
Yeah.
truly, that is not what worries me because that would be very bad for anybody that did it. What worries me is, Heather, I would have done anything you asked me for if you'd just if I'd have sat down and we'd have had an opportunity to have the damn conversation.
Well, I reached out several times.
And you know what? Please don't punish me for not getting back to you when you've
I'm
not gotten
not
back to other
punishing you,
people.
and you can't say that.
You are though.
No, I'm not, and you can't say that. Don't do that.
Okay.
That's not right.
It's not punishment.
You
What I'm saying is
gaslight
don't.
me. You know that? Like you make me feel like it's my fault that something's happening to me. You.
Well, I apologize. I know what gaslighting means. and
Is that
I
right?
think
Did I use the right
Well, I don't
analogy?
think that I'm.
But tell me, did I use the right analogy?
You did, but
Okay.
I'm not doing it. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty for doing some. No. I just know that things were not being communicated. You and me, I wasn't listening or hearing, however we want to phrase it. But with regards to your protests and all of that stuff and your conversations with Mary Jo and Angela, they were leaving me the hell out of it, and I was.
But you gotta understand, Mary Jo said she was talking to you regularly and that she was updating you and she's reading text messages too. So, I mean, there was some communication. I don't know what all was said because I wasn't there. I wasn't a fly on the wall. But Mary Jo led Angela and I both to believe that you were staying fully in communication with Mary Jo. But that's the thing.
She's my mother-in-law.
And yeah.
Hey, so let me say this, please. She's my mother-in-law, and so I would prefer not to say anything
You don't
more
have to.
negatively.
I don't want you
Heather,
to.
Heather, please understand from me
Mm-hmm.
that if I had in any way understood that this was causing you such fucking turmoil, I would have ended the fucking process of not being involved so fucking fast. It would have made your fucking head spin. I was letting you make a decision, look at the numbers, see where things were. I thought you'd gotten from what had been conveyed to me, I thought you had your head around it, and somehow I thought it had come to a decision today, and I didn't understand it, but I didn't want to step on any toes.
No,
and now I'm being told that
called him sick yesterday, and I had told him
I
last
thought you
week
had the
I
flu.
didn't.
I didn't call you yesterday because I thought I was leaving you the fuck alone. Did you not have the flu?
No, I was just working from home, not feeling good.
Heather, I was
No.
fucking. I was in freaking.
I messaged you yesterday.
I was in court.
I
And damn LaFleur.
You were
Breaking
watching
County.
TV and you asked if I'd be up in 45
Oh
minutes.
yeah, and I called you.
No, you didn't.
Oh shit. No, that was yesterday.
That was last night. Or was it was I think it was last
Oh,
night.
yes, I got up at 6 a.m. I was fucking exhausted. Yes, I went to bed. I apologize.
It's not holding it
but-
against you. I'm just
but
saying I did
again-
reach out.
I had no idea that this was causing you that much turmoil.
But
Because I would have made it clear that I didn't want it to fucking happen. Again, I don't know what I have Joe on payroll for. For the life of me, I don't.
I
At
understand.
this point, other than just being a good human being.
Yeah, I understand that,
But-
and it to me would be nice to send him off with something, get him through Christmas, do something. Joe's position has always been discussed. That's not a surprise to me. Again,
Well, what I'm going to discuss with them.
Sam doesn't not exist to me, but didn't actually exist to me because I didn't know she was on Tricom with payroll at all. So I didn't know that there was a
Right.
hindrance on Tricom.
Right.
And Cassie, I was already having issues with her work ethics. I think she's going through a lot of stuff and that's affecting it. And I wanted to see
Sure.
if there was an opportunity to work with her. The only person that's benefited from Cassie being here is Dana.
Yeah.
I can see why Dana would want, but at the same time, I would never okay it for her to be fired or let go right before Christmas, being a mother, being that she is going through shit. That's asking somebody to commit suicide. That's something you don't do. And I was never going to okay that. I would never. And I would have paid for money out of my pocket before I let it get to every single second of the last minute with hopes that there was going to be brought forth. They're the ones that brought me the options to begin with, so why wouldn't they bring me any other options? And I'd asked, and I'd said, and I'd told them exactly, no, I want this tabled, I don't want this discussed, this I understand, otherwise.
Well, that'd be some interesting questions, and I hope you make the decision to stick around and you get to ask them those things, because I'd like to know the answers to those
Well, I mean,
questions.
I wondered why they told Dana that I was the one that decided to fire people, and
Yeah, well, there's
like,
a lot
what
of
was the point of saying that?
Questions that I would like the answers to as well.
And then they feel like, and I get this, they feel like Dana went around and told everybody that that they had said that I said that we were firing people. Dana didn't do that. That didn't happen. Dana did have a conversation with Alyssa in the bathroom, which was overheard by people in the building. That got back to Angela, and that's understandable. But the fact that they think these people don't talk is crazy,
I understand.
and you can't stop them from
I
talking.
understand.
But Cassie found out because of me, and they accused Dana, and they were upset with that Cassie quit, and I own it, and I told them when I walked in, Cassie needed to talk to me, and she wanted to tell me something, and I told her I'm not comfortable with her sharing with me what she's going to share with me. I feel like she needs to know something. I am not going to be with the company anymore. You might take a second thought on whether or not you want to share something with me. If you know that, you want to know that if you're about to share something with somebody for a reason or no reason. She said, thank you, I appreciate that. I don't need to share it with you. That helps me understand better what my decision's going to be. And she didn't tell me she was going to quit. It didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But she just respectfully didn't tell me what she was originally going to tell me, which I assumed was personal.
Sure.
I know how much she's missed and everything. I paid attention to all that shit.
Yeah.
And I planned on having a talk with her. I even had work I wanted her to do. I would never have let something happen before Christmas, though. That is beyond me. I've lost family members to
I
suicide.
agree.
The holidays are horrible for me.
Did you see my text message earlier? Okay, well, it said she doesn't need this with what she's going through. I completely agree, even with her quitting.
Who said?
Cassie.
Oh.
Cassie.
Yeah.
Heather, I agree with you. I told this to Dana earlier.
Well,
That's why it took her 20. Like, I thought you had decided. Like, when I'm talking to Dana, I thought you and Mary Jo and Angela had met, discussed, decided, and that's what the plan was. And I was trying not to intervene, but then Dana said something about it, and Dana seems upset. And I'm like, no, let me get to the bottom of this.
Because they straight told her and she knew.
Well, great. So
Yeah.
then Dana and I go upstairs because I was going to let it go and not talk to Dana about it now, but I could sense that she was upset. I'm like, no, let's get this. What the hell's going on? And so I go upstairs with Dana and have a conversation, and she sits there and talks about the value of Cassie. And I'm like, well, I thought I was overriding their decision. I didn't realize that I was just overriding the decision of people who didn't have the authority to make the fucking decision. And I'm sorry that the fucking decision got made. I don't know how the
It
fucking...
didn't get made.
No,
She quit.
No, I understand, but how the freaking hell that text message got sent out that was what was happening today?
What text message got sent out?
the one that, how they made the decision that all that was gonna happen today.
I didn't
I
know
got
there
a
was a
text message. I got a text this morning that they were being let go this morning. They were
They,
like
they told me that last Friday, because it was supposed to happen on Friday, and I didn't let the meeting happen.
But then Friday I was told that it was all off the table.
I had been, and I did not change my mind, I've been saying this the whole time.
Right, but when the text message I get this morning is...
So, they had already told me from last week, Cassie, Sam, and Joe were already gone. That had never changed from the very first day I walked in over a week ago.
But you had said no.
I had said no all along. And they told me no option. You had already made the decision on the first three. I had always said Joe's position had always been something up for discussion. Sam's position didn't mean anything to me because I didn't know it was on Tricom. And I wasn't happy with Cassie, but the position is still needed. It's a support staff position and it's needed.
Look, I frankly think that
said,
the decision is to grow, not to shrink.
If I had the opportunity to try to save Cameron and Nikki, and then figure out what we could do without taking a bunch of pay cuts, because they wanted 10% of everybody's pay cut. And I was willing, and I even said it from the get-go, I will take the largest pay cut. I even said it from the very get-go.
They told me that you were talking about something about paying Cassie, and I told them that was not a fucking option. That Cassie and then, well, not Cassie, that Cameron and Nikki were not options on the table, and that they said something about you offered to pay something for Cam, and I said that's no fucking chance in hell. Is she paying for fucking anything? She's not coming. Like, she needs her. So I apologize that I stayed out of the room. Clearly, I needed to be in the fucking room, and the game of telephone or whatever the fuck we've been playing, it ended up about as bad as a game of damn telephone in elementary school. Worse, I think. Worse, because we're sitting here having this conversation right now. That was not my intention. I think there are two solutions to the problem. One solution is cut. The other solution, which is just my general demeanor, is go the other direction and build. And that's where I was leaning, and that's why I was setting up the stuff with Carrie.
$11,500.
I understand that, and I said, then great, she didn't have to fucking cut anybody. That's what I can't.
No, it still wasn't enough.
I'm sorry.
But I put
sorry.
85 names
so
on a list
sorry.
of people that I think we needed to address getting them signed or set up correctly.
I'm sorry. Because this is not how
I appreciate
was supposed to go.
I appreciate your apology.
At the end of the day, the solution was to grow it.
Mm-hmm. But even the math that you guys have and the amount...
I didn't do the math. I don't have any fucking control.
But
you think whatever you see is more than I've seen.
I understand that, but when I'm talking to two people that I'm explaining to them I'm not comfortable with the math, I need to know how you got the math. I need to know what the math consists of. Having the word expenses and 80 grand in it is not... Can I have the breakdown?
Sure.
You know, that's not too much to ask for. I was being made to feel like it was.
Okay. I didn't make you feel that way, and
no,
I'm sorry
you
that you felt that way. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't, but you
felt
also got to understand something. I have said from the get-go, you've not made it clear that I'm a partner. This is the first time I've ever been made to feel like I'm a partner, and it wasn't for a good reason, and I wasn't going to make a decision.
I called you the other night.
No, listen, I'm talking about with the employees in the business and in the realm of this circle here. Because I'd asked over and over again for you to clarify and make things straight, which still has not happened. 2 people today told me they still have never been told by you that I have any ownership in this business. Ooh. Cameron and Nikki. You don't know. Don't. I'll be upset if you write something down right now. Please don't.
Okay, so here's,
listen, I understand. I'm just explaining.
I got you.
Okay? I'm not trying to build my reason why. I'm not trying to...
Your friend didn't know that you owned part of this business? You didn't
never
tell her?
heard it from you.
Well, I don't typically have conversations with people.
I asked you to. I asked you to make it clear. If you needed to do it in front of everybody, do it in front of everybody. If you needed to do it in front... Yes, we have. Yes, we have. This has been for a very long time. This has been for a very, very long time. Listen, okay. Here's the thing. You're not hearing me. Okay, you're not hearing me because you didn't hear me then. because you're not realizing the conversation because you don't remember being a part of it because you weren't. I have
gotcha.
tried. So you wanting me to do now what I've been doing is hard for somebody to just accept, because think about it. Put yourself in my shoes. I have actually been
You
doing.
feel insecure because I've delivered you lines that you own part of this company, and I've never given you anything in writing.
And
it makes
you haven't made anything clear to anybody.
It makes you feel insanely insecure.
No, I don't feel insanely insecure at all. I will not go around and defend myself. I have no problem with that. I don't feel insecure at all.
Well,
I currently am grateful that you hadn't, done anything to get me to sign anything yet, because I feel very much blindsided by a lot of this. I feel very much, not blindsided, that's the wrong word. Manipulated. I'll put it that way. Manipulated. You can only make a decision based off of the education you have about them, or the knowledge you have about the choices, the options. Correct? That's the only way you can make a decision on anything.
sure.
Right. Okay, but when you're asking and saying and expressing that this doesn't make sense to me, I want more information, all of the above, and then you're being told that you have to make a decision based off of your position in a company that you don't actually have, and you're not given the information that position asks for that information, well, by gosh, wouldn't you think they get it? Yeah. Hello. I'm being told I need to make this decision as this position that I don't actually have.
Sure.
I'm asking for information that nobody gives a shit that I'm asking for. Wouldn't you think somebody in that position should be able to get the information they're asking for?
Sure.
I mean, like, is that not a... you pay attention to this shit, right?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have access to all the bank accounts.
I've been given it in
And the
about
QuickBooks.
6 weeks now,
And
I
the
think.
QuickBooks.
Yes, I'm not saying that your intentions were there to
So
help.
you have access to everything that you want, and anything that you want access to. Heather, I don't hide anything.
I understand
don't-
that. I wanted their information from their math, from what they had done the work on. I didn't want to go back and redo the work they were doing, because
Oh.
I wanted them to show me what they've already done on behalf of our business,
Sure.
which I should be able to
But
ask for.
They can't show it to you?
It was
or-
pointless to show me that. That doesn't matter now, because this is where we are now, and this is what the problem is. I don't
Okay.
care that that's where I want to know how we got
I
here.
understand.
If I ask a question, I shouldn't have to explain why I want the answer.
Okay.
That's never been established
Well-
from you to anybody. I've had to assert myself in ways that
Well,
I shouldn't have
put
had
you in a
to.
room with people and told you, and was under the impression you were getting anything and everything you wanted. So, I'm sorry you haven't gotten everything and anything that you wanted, but you were open.
word it that way.
Huh?
You're sorry I haven't gotten anything and everything I wanted. Don't have to word it that's not.
That's not, I didn't mean it, you're taking
I know.
offense to something that's
No, I'm
not.
smiling about it too, because I'm
Because
saying I
I'm-
know it's not what you how
No,
you
I
meant
mean,
it.
you can see whatever you'd like to see,
No,
but the
I'm
company.
not taking it that way.
The company is not gonna go out of business. They've over freaking created a dramatic situation that really infuriates me. And quite frankly, if I'm doing anything here, I'm trying to maintain the rage that I have that is not directed at you. I assure
Oh,
you.
I would hope not. I
It
didn't.
is directed at my mother-in-law, quite frankly.
I think.
No, I know what Mary Jo's been doing. I know my mother-in-law well. I know her well. You're just gonna have to trust.
I do. I'm
that I
not
have
going to
been- that-
interfere
that
in
we
your
have been
relationship.
fucking
Well, I don't do
manipulated,
that.
that we have been fucking manipulated in a way to try to force something to happen that she thinks needs to fucking happen, that I don't want to fucking happen. And she said something to me tonight. You know I wouldn't do anything that wasn't in your best interest, right? And when she said that, I'm like, what the fuck have you been doing?
I'm
apologize.
not accusing her of doing anything that wasn't in your
No,
best
but it's not
interest.
conveying stuff, and it's creating a situation.
But do understand, I am not saying that she was doing anything that was not in your best interest. I'm not accusing her or
But
saying I don't want to be. I'm not going to insert myself in your
I'm
family.
not asking, you're not
But I
inserting
also-
yourself to anything.
I just
You're
also
not.
want to make it clear that I'm not.
I promise.
Okay.
I know you don't want to be. You don't want to have.
I respect
anybody,
it. I wouldn't get
You
involved,
don't want
and
to
I
have
don't want to
anybody. I know, you
misunderstand
don't
it.
want there to be anybody suffer any ill. I know
Yeah.
Heather. I know.
I
know.
like Mary Jo. I like what she was doing. I think she had your best
And I think
interest.
they had great. I think they both had the best of intentions for the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they absolutely and completely fucked this 8 ways from ever living Sunday, Heather.
Yeah, I mean,
And I don't know how it has ballooned.
I will tell you, it's not just this situation. There's other things that are okay.
We've gone through.
Okay.
We've been talking for quite some time.
Okay.
It's been a long list.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay.
But what I have not seen, it's something to think about, is there's not been one thing that is not fixable. The question is it worth fixing? And I think the answer to that is yes, because it's fixable. It's all fixable. Is it worth fixing? Can it be fixed? Yes. Is it worth fixing? I fucking think it's fixable and worth fixing. Is it something we want to fix? I can't answer that for you. From my particular perspective, this is all in the freaking world I wanted. I wanted to leave the legal field to take care of this. I have come to the realization that was a bad decision too.
I've supported you, and I do think you need to plan that goal. But I do think
it's
that,
not time. And here's the thing.
and it does upset a lot of people. They're confused.
No shit.
Big time.
I had no idea that was going to be that.
Even the
Neither
DC.
did you.
Well, no, I didn't know. I had a problem with your live, and I couldn't get you to listen to me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Your live didn't make any sense. It was too encrypted.
Yeah.
Encrypted.
Yeah.
But DC was actually personally offended.
Oh, I know.
because
He thought I was like.
You usually communicate with him
Yeah.
when you have decisions and shit like that. He's like, everybody's calling him, and he's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
He's like, I've never had to answer people like that.
So.
Which I
was facing a
defended
lot. So look, I've been going through a lot.
and I've defended you, and I've tried to explain the situation, which for me only made it worse when I had clients call me and tell me that they've worked with Alex before and his prices have gone up since he's having to pay Ron Durbin for referrals now. After I told them that they were signing a retainer for Ron Durbin,
Okay.
that they had their choice because I didn't know you weren't taking any of these because you don't even go to court over them. You just make a plea deal, right? If that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
just
I misrepresented, trying to have your back, and then double screwed us with. There's a lot of very upset people about a lot of things right now.
all fixable. All fixable. Thank God.
No,
all
I
fixable.
do agree with that, and I do agree with doing the work, and I do
And
agree. I
here's
don't
the
have a
thing,
problem with
at the
that.
end of the day, I want ideally, Trico would not be in the legal profession. But in the
It's a
particular,
great connection, though.
in the state of Oklahoma,
It's a great connection, and if you could limit what you do and how
there
you do
you
it,
go. And so here's where we have failed in that regard. We failed in that regard.
you got
And
overzealous and wanted it out, but it's not the right time.
I know. And we haven't had a chance to talk for me to tell you that, hey, I made the wrong
No,
decision.
you told me you were going to do the criminal cases.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the civil
I don't
cases.
feel like you can just do the criminal cases
I'm gonna do the
because
civil
people.
cases too.
Okay, I don't know what
Any
is that
of
the
any of the
violations?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I
You
put the
had
post
not
up.
told me
That's
that.
why I put the post up today.
Which we've been giving those to Alex,
I know.
so you
I
can
won't-
understand why I saw that the way I did.
Uh-huh. But look, at the end of the day, that scheme would pay off. The problem is that
It's not
no
the right time
attorney
in the industry.
is not, and the people don't have faith in anybody else.
No, because they've all been burnt, but we're burning them too.
I understand. So what I would tell you, if you decide to stay, is we're going to have to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the solution to this. It was always the solution to this. Now look, frankly, having an idea of where you think there's dead weight and stuff was something that was academic for me, and I'm sorry that I ever fucking thought that it would be nice to know what you thought on that. It was a bad fucking decision. It was a bad decision. I made a bad decision. I made a bad fucking decision.
Okay.
And I listened and stayed out of it. Heather, you gotta know, do I need to come in? You know me, I've been trying to come in there. No, Ryan, it's okay. Like, she's working through it. She needs answers to this. Okay, great. Building this bigger is where I want to be. Dana wants to know why we need this program. You want to know why we need the program? Show me what else you have. But we need something like that to streamline what all we're doing so we can be bigger. And so we can help people more. And so when we promise something, we can fucking deliver on it. So if we're
And
going
you
to do
can figure
this,
out where the
if
failures
we're
are.
going to do this,
It has
look,
to be a trackable source. It has to be a a moving object that is trackable in every sense of the word. It's just
So
like a
I have
seed cell
been-
program, basically.
I have felt alone. As you have felt alone,
Mm-hmm.
I have felt alone.
Mm.
You want to know why it's hard to get me to focus and do anything? It's because I feel like I'm the only fucking person in the world, just as you do, that can handle so many of these fucking issues. Because at the end of the day, I am the only other fucking person that can handle it. When it comes to legal shit, I am the only person that can handle these motherfucking things. And I feel out on a fucking island.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what to do because I need
know.
information from you that you won't give me.
So
Ronnie Pugh is calling me pretty much daily.
I have not. If we're having a frank conversation, let me just have a frank conversation. On the legal side of things, and I got to figure out how to fix this. I have zero motivation. I am fucking just ethically burnt the fuck out. Heather, I hate it.
No, it's been with the Sustenda. It's been what we've been through. I know, I get it.
I fucking hate it. All right, that's what made me make that decision.
No, I know.
And I
That's
fucking went.
the happiness.
Here's the thing. I went to the fucking too far of an extreme. So we're gonna back it up some and go, okay, bad idea. It won't be the first time. One time I decided I was going to quit the legal field. I decided during COVID I was going to quit the legal field. Right? Didn't do it then either.
Yeah.
Right? Try to do it here. Bad decision. I'm prone to those.
Yeah.
Right? I'm prone to all of those except for all the good decisions that I've made. You, Dana, Alyssa, Nikki, Cam. And guess what? Most of those are your fucking decisions. The people that you've hired, they're
Every
good
one
damn
of them.
people. I
Nikki's the
understand
only
that.
one that's not. Nikki and Joe are the only ones that weren't.
So, you've built a team. It needs work. I need work. You need work. We all need work. Think about it. Decide if this is something we can work on. I think it's something that we can.
We'll talk again.
Absolutely. I'm in Miami tomorrow. I've got Kristen Irwin's case. I've got to get.
Yeah, you wanted Jeremy and I to meet with Hawk. Is that still a thing?
Yes.
What
he
time?
really wants to meet with you. 10:30 is when we're there. He's there all day. But that is really a thing, and it would be
Okay,
really.
so here's my problem.
It's really good.
Here's my problem. There's a lot of talk, a lot of concerns out there. There always has been. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making a big deal out of it, as in like, oh my gosh, freaking out. Okay. But I do think it's worth communicating about. There's concerns that we're being set up by the OBNDD, that there's involvement that we're not aware of, that they're aware of, that we don't know about. I'm concerned about the Ronnie Pugh situation and why it's being handled the way it is.
Stupidity. When you talk to Agent Hawk tomorrow,
Could I bring that up?
no,
Okay.
don't.
Could I
Talk
do a
to-
hypothetical?
Yes.
Just the one that
But,
they didn't
but
realize.
do it later.
Okay.
But here's the thing: when you talk to Hawk tomorrow, you're going to come to the realization when we sit there and talk to Hawk about stronghold and about fucking tactical and about fucking Coley and all of that stuff. Heather, what we are doing is we are building. I am so in.
They're already saying that we're the reason why these people, because we were at Dabergrass is the reason why they got raided. They're already saying that we are turning these people in so we can make money off of them through the legal
You
aspect.
gotta let people.
I don't have a problem. I'm not worked up.
People are
just letting.
but that's the industry.
Right.
I can't deal. So
The
you
better
can't hold me
you are, the
accountable
more
for
haters you are. I don't.
Exactly.
I'm not.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't be
not-
accountable for that.
I'm
So
not
what's happening
making a
with Dabergrass,
decision
I
or-
can't tell you some stuff that's happening with Dabergrass, but what you have to understand.
I don't worry too much about it. Like, I mean,
You
you're
shouldn't,
the
because
attorney.
We're building a relation. I'm building a relationship with the OBNDD that is extremely valuable. In fact, like he's excited about. We're going to hand them. Look, they want to shut down businesses. The biggest flow of illegal product is going through fucking Stronghold and Tactical. And they're fucking sitting in their warehouse with nobody having any clue it's sitting there, including
No manifest.
OBNDD. So when you meet with Paul Hawk tomorrow, you are going to come to the understanding that he doesn't have a fucking
They have no idea
clue.
that metric. I've known that.
No, they don't have a clue
They're
who
only get what's
Stronghold is,
told.
who has Tactical
No,
are.
they don't know
how
the
any of
names
the,
are.
They don't know how
They-
any of the scheme works.
They only get their information from MMA.
Yeah, no, but they also don't understand where the true problems are.
Right, they don't know where
and
the
so we have two
lapses are.
choices. We have two choices. Keep letting them go, or work with them and go, hey, here's the good, like, here's where you really should
But
be
they need to
focused.
learn on how to read metric. They need,
And that's what you get to explain to them tomorrow. And one of the things I want this company to, in a year, I want us to have consulting contracts with OB&DD and the OMMA. At least the OB&DD had it. I want a consulting contract where they pay us to consult with them on investigations of cases that aren't our fucking clients.
I understand that.
This is something huge, and an OB&DD agent's going to meet
I
with us
understand
tomorrow.
the hugeness of the
We're building something good here.
I believe all of it is. We're building something good. I believe I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, putting on the something good that I don't get heard.
I will fix that. I can fix that.
Well, my
You
head
don't make a
is
decision, I
pounding.
Let's go.
So here's my thing. I'm supposed to meet with a client that I need to refund her money tomorrow morning. No,
For what?
that's canceled. She bought a license that needs to get transferred. The mix-up about when it was going to be done had been, I assumed, was talked about because I thought we talked about it. It's not due till December, so why would we? We had all these other pressing things that everybody talked about needing to get done. So, come December, it's like freak out time. They don't feel they're being taken care of. Well, they already went back to their CPA, who already has all their information. I can't deny that would be the better route to go anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to refund their money and let them pay it.
Sure.
It's only the renewal part of it, and they do want our services and the membership.
Hey, we have fucked up some stuff. We've got to fix some things.
Oh, I know. No, I'm eating crow every day. I'm dealing with stuff left and right. Yeah.
I have not devoted. I've had.
I need a contract done immediately that I can't get done again because
So
I need to sit down and plug
Friday?
everything in and send it to you that way. And
Friday, you can have anything and everything, including our deal,
I
done.
have.
On Friday, tomorrow I've got Irwin, and Thursday I've got 2 hearings.
What's Irwin?
It's
Blog.
the one we're in Miami for. And then Thursday I've got 2 daggum hearings. I got one in Delaware County, and I got one in LaFleur
When?
County on
What?
Thursday.
What's it?
So Friday I have zippity doo dah, like nothing, like not a single solitary meeting. Apparently it's Hanukkah, it's the first day.
Friday?
On Friday.
Okay.
So all of this, look, I have neglected a lot of things, and I have been depressed in terms of
I know that.
of the legal work. It's just depressing the fuck out of me in the hope that
I've tried to show compassion and understanding for the shit you've been going through. I
I
tried to
hope
make
it-
your trip as carefree as possible.
and here's the thing, where the depression stepped in, and where I really had hopes I could turn this stuff over to Jonathan, and I understand that you brought him in.
I didn't bring him for that point,
No, I
though.
understand
You
that.
never
I
even
understand. I
you never even heard
And
the
I was
reason why
like-
you were supposed to meet him. You've never even heard the reason why you were
What
supposed
was
to meet
it?
him. It's what? No.
Yeah,
Someone's looking for you. He said he's about ready to call it a day.
Hey, baby.
we're done.
Okay. Alright.
She's got to talk to you and make some decisions and things, and hopefully I'm trying to talk her into staying. So any assistance you want to deliver in that, I would greatly appreciate. You know I love you guys, and I think this is fixable. So y'all have a good night. If y'all need anything, holler at me. But tomorrow, let me know if you're going to be over there. I'd like you to meet with Hawk and talk to him about that stuff.
10?
10:30 is the time court starts. So yeah, 10 I'll be over there. I'll be here at 8.
Check
so
with Jeremy and see.
I'll be here. And then Jeremy, he didn't text me if he's riding with me or not. I don't know.
But that's what your understanding is that the conversation's supposed to be about.
Yeah, and about the fact that they come to find out, Stronghold, I now have the video, Stronghold delivered the product to his facility using off-duty Tulsa County Sheriff's deputies in uniform, with police on their daggum uniform, delivered this kingpin his weed
That's not
on
there.
a manifested transport.
It is on a manifest?
Yes, every bit of it's manifested. All of it's manifested.
They do know that.
Justin's a daggum kingpin of. You know what happened? The only thing that they got him on, they had video cameras outside of his facilities. All of them, like outside on the fence posts, I guess, or some shit. Drones flying in the sky. They got one vehicle moving out of there with 19 pounds of weight that they stopped that didn't have a manifest. That's the extent of what they've got. One movement, one vehicle, and it wasn't even Justin that was doing that daggum thing. And whether that was just mismanifested or not, again, it doesn't make you a massive trafficker. They don't have one thing of going to another state. And the man swears to me that he wasn't engaged in that shit. And I've been lied to. The man's not fucking lying to me. Did he play in the gray like everybody freaking has? Has he sold a little bit to somebody that he probably thought,
Right.
do they have a license? Don't they have a license? I don't know.
Right.
But has that man been loading up semi-trailers knowing that they're going? No, he's been getting the semi-trailers brought to him, drying and curing it in his facility. He's got videos of them loading it off.
He's moving it. He is making a mistake. We found it today.
I know, on the remediation versus the thing, and then the not testing, and then the
Not coming back
not
to
coming
the
back.
original.
No, I get it. There's
And then
issues.
it being moved for a penny a pound that
But
way.
that's a regulatory thing, not
If
a
it comes-
$500,000 bond.
If it comes back.
$500,000 bond.
But
And an ankle monitor, and surrendered his passport, all because he has a marijuana license, and
he has one transport on there that was off records. That he
well,
needs
he
to account
didn't
for.
even do. That wasn't even him.
But had he already been busted for that, or is he just now busted for that?
They busted those people who did that transport on the 27th of November. They used that bus to get the search warrant to then go and arrest Justin, to charge him with trafficking, even
So
though
was
he
it
didn't-
his
he wasn't
agent?
involved. No, he wasn't involved.
Was it
no.
his marijuana?
No, it was SK4's marijuana.
Was it on his
STK4's,
property?
yes.
Why was it on his property?
Because STK4 paid one of his people in marijuana.
So it wasn't
Oh,
there
it should
because
have been on the property. There's no fucking way. Look, it absolutely
But
black market weed.
but it had to do with somebody else's everything.
Well, everything else is fucking manifested. Every fucking thing else.
Except
And I was like,
for
y'all are about the dumbest. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Most
Not bringing
criminals
the
are
product
pretty
back.
fucking dumb because there's always something that they do that
So,
gives them the.
for
the
them
up.
for them to move that product to the processor without a test, Metric has to put a fill on it.
Metric did that. Jeremy
Yes.
showed me the stuff
Yep.
today.
Yep. So those
Metric is complicit
those
in
are
the movement of
those
stuff.
are correct. Those are correct moves based off OMMA's laws. Metric had to figure out a way to make that move happen.
I understand, but if Metric is facilitating a transfer,
They're a
all
partner
of
in
these,
it.
all
They're a
things that
partner in
we
it.
get to the bottom of these people.
If they allow an unlawful sale to go through, they're abiding and abetting.
Aiding and abetting.
That's what I said.
You're tired, you would edit. But all of this stuff is stuff that we've got a long work to continue on. I love you, go home, you know, whatever decision, I still love you. And let me know in the morning whether you're going or not. And
10 o'clock is when we need to be there by.
yeah, I'll be there at 10, yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell you how much I would, you know, give you a big
Ottawa
hug and love to
County?
see you. It's Miami.
Miami. Is that
County.
Ottawa?
It's Ottawa County Courthouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to look up that address.
So, I hope,
You can still give me a hug. We can still.
no, I mean, I just hope it's really, I love you.
I appreciate it.
This is worth fighting for. I'm gonna keep fighting. So,
I hear you.
all right,
I
get out
don't
of here.
think my
Go.
brain, my poor sick dog and his little Christmas
He'll be all right
sweater.
tomorrow. He'll be all right
And
tomorrow.
his Christmas sweater.
Yeah, Miss Davis.
I don't know if he's still here or not.
She's gone. Okay. Oh well. I gotta be honest with you. She's gone. Okay. Well,
Yeah, she ended it. That happened like right before I walked in here with you.
here's the thing.
You knew Cameron wouldn't stay a minute without me.
I'm not worried about that. But here's the one thing I want to say to you on this as you ponder your decisions. Decide if you decide to stay, whether that's one you want to even save. Because frankly, I don't know. It wouldn't be something I would decide, but of all the people, that one's one that has the greatest concern to me about following your lead and being on the plan and not stealing Cam.
Her and I
or not
definitely had
Cassie.
things that we needed to be working on, but I was letting things ride my
I
way.
understand. But one of the things you brought up to me was Cassie not doing it the way you wanted it to, and the impediment to that was not me. You know.
No, I didn't. When I learned that my project got overran and whatever, boy, I've had words with her. I have had
I know.
words.
So I'm saying, if you think about this, I mean, she could look all they do is say. It's just a question of do you want to go to the plane. I'm not gonna walk out of here and call Manny, oh, I really wanted to talk to you.
No, I understand. I feel like Dana's misunderstood about a lot of things. I think Dana has been really like some things her behavior's been incorrect. I think she was playing it out, it was getting better, I do think that's true.
I don't think so. I disagree with you on
I
that
think
one.
she had a few challenges left in her. She's very much that female attacking kind of get her jabs where she can't, like things that make her feel good.
Well, and
Like not do something that I asked for, or to not
well,
follow
it was.
through on
She said something to me earlier. It was Heather and I are running this company, and I'm like, oh, that was not that in and of itself has a problem because, and I told her this. And it's probably what I don't know what all she said as far as what you were talking about there, but I was like, no, you're an account manager. I was like, you manage your accounts and those people, and you help with the stuff that we're doing. You know, with trying to develop the
She's always
website. But
been under the impression as when we were hired that her and I were equals.
Yeah.
Then she was slightly under me, but she always felt like she accepted that, but she was number two. And she would be over other people, and she feels like, which we all did.
do you know what was Alyssa at this meeting?
What meeting?
Y'all had. You're talking about what y'all were going to do.
We didn't talk about what we were gonna do, we did the bathroom thing where we're talking about me.
Oh no! Weren't y'all meeting and talking about upstairs?
I don't think we went on the
Okay.
road.
Anyway,
We went to the bathroom.
Alyssa.
We went
Alyssa said
downstairs.
anything?
She just said bye to me, Alyssa, I don't know. They, Dana said she was clean right then, and that she gave me the keys. Nikki said that she wasn't gonna leave today, she didn't know. And
Yeah.
Cameron was,
I
like
knew.
you said, waiting on you.
Well, look,
She
I,
would with me in a heartbeat. I haven't talked to her, so I don't know. She hasn't
Well,
said anything to me like she's.
again, at the end of the day, all these, I just worry about all these people getting taken care of and figuring out how the hell all that.
What?
I just worry about people.
Oh, no, I
I just
understand.
worry about people.
I understand. Trust me, I'm feeling the heat, the
And
pressure. all kinds
and
of-
the freaking clients, and like, how the hell we get all of them handled and taken care of, and the ones who paid have to get their stuff, and I'm never gonna abandon somebody. And look,
There's a ton going on too.
but again, the growth. There's plenty of compliance people. We figured that out. I mean, God bless. Some have emailed. Angela's got one guy who I've been meaning to try to have a conversation with. I haven't even interviewed this guy to figure out. He's in
Definitely
Oklahoma City.
don't talk about hiring people just yet.
No, I'm not going to talk about hiring people. What I'm saying though is, as we do need compliance people in Oklahoma City. So if we're going to add
I
somebody in
have
Oklahoma
had
City,
people that I have wanted to bring in, and I have been blind swiped or whatever, side swiped.
on the people in Oklahoma City.
No, on people for positions and jobs in this company. As I've thought somebody's needed, and I express to you and explain it to you, then you say, you're right. The next thing I know, other people are hired and on payroll that I don't even know about before my person even gets an interview.
I got. Do you know who?
Like, I gotta quit telling people. Yes, I have,
Hang on one second, Heather.
Yes.
Who do you have the volume?
I have an HR person, I have an inspector.
No, what about
I have-
a account manager person?
I have, yes, I have several in mind.
So as
I have
you're
people in
sitting-
Tulsa, I have all kinds of people in mind. I was concerned about bringing them on with finances being
Yeah.
the way they were. I'm not going, but to tell somebody that, you know, I want to get them an interview, I think they'd be great at something I'd like to see, and then, sorry, the job's already filled. Stuff like that
Yeah.
sucks. You
you know,
got a number
yeah.
on me with all that. Just all of it.
Look, I've run fast and not listened enough. I'm guilty of that in my life. My wife will tell you the same thing. I can get better is all I can tell you. She'll tell you I've improved over the 7 years. I mean, you probably had to work on this man a little bit. You did, yeah, me too. You had to.
But you also had to lose to be able to learn that you had to do it.
Yeah, but that's not something that's necessary.
I don't try
Right?
to teach
I don't need
people
the.
that
I don't
way.
need the. I don't need the separation.
Do I
don't
try
need
to
it.
teach people that way? I don't try to hinder anybody. I don't. Are you,
Yeah, but I don't need the divorce to learn.
yeah,
I'm trainable. I'm trainable without that. I assure you.
Right. I'm not saying.
I don't need the. I don't need the big D.
Right,
I've been there, done that. Got the T-shirts.
right.
What I need is for us to have more conversations like we just had, and you to think about whether or not the decision that Dana came to is something that you would want to try to talk her out of or not. I just gut says that that is the source of a lot of your frustrations from and how you manage things, and that you could structure things you wanted in terms of your systems in place.
I can tell you, anything that I think of is going to be thinking of this entire team in its whole. And Dana has done a lot of things. I also feel Dana's not heard. So I feel like Dana and I have good communication. Do I feel like there's some issues? Yes. But I'm also very attuned to things like that. And I usually I had to put her in place
so
a
you
couple
wouldn't
times.
so you wouldn't throw her out, so don't throw this out. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I'm thinking.
I need a little work.
I'm thinking.
You are. I'm still gonna keep going. And look, you've heard me in court.
Mm-hmm.
Do I stop selling?
No, I've told you, you can
Okay.
fake it till you
Well,
make
I'm
it like
gonna
nobody
sell.
I've
I'm
ever
gonna
seen.
sell till the minute until you say shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right? I gotta get my weed before I leave here. You want another joint?
No, I've got another one.
You want some bodega boys? One? I can roll one real
Sure,
quick.
we'll take
Let's
one.
roll one. Let's roll one. Real quick.
I gotta run to the bathroom.
Go eat. I'll let you. Yeah, everything, buddy. Besides packing it.
You gotta see this cutest thing ever.
I'll leave it in the car. Never mind. Sorry.
Open it up so you can see me.
I was in a hurry.
Oh, come in the light.
Jude?
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 Yeah,
Is
Jude
it a boy or a
Stevens.
girl?
He's gonna come tomorrow. He's supposed to be.
What'd you
he
say?
said he's supposed
Is it a boy
to
or a
A
girl?
boy.
pick up a
What's his
check,
name?
Zuko.
sign some checks, and pick up his check.
It's not Rico, it's Zuko.
Get out.
Susan,
He's not feeling well, babe. He's the cutest
have
thing
those
ever.
numbers and know what. Look like little bears.
No, no. You should see him lay on his back in there and have his hands over his eyes when he's sleeping. I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
What? Yeah, I'm full.
Okay, well, I got. I haven't looked at my phone, babe, I'm sorry.
I gotta get my break.
Hey, look, everybody thinks I'm discriminating. I'm like, no, I sure don't. I'm sorry. I've got a.
I understand what you're saying, you have to do for your breaks. Higher, when I got closer to you.
And we're gonna come through home and do my break.
Right.
But they're
Are you wanting to do it here?
no, I gotta go home.
Well, I wanna follow it and make sure it's okay getting home. Right? Because you're saying about that?
No, they're grinding. I just need to get them. They need to be done.
Okay, what about mine squeaky?
I'll have to take a look at it.
I'll be back. You want to go to the bathroom?
Auditorium
Or scroll the slider.
there's a picture, there's a, some kind of, what do you call it? Photographic museum.